Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Simultaneous Time Travel. Sharing Talents from Jackie Chan Adventures. Chapter 41. What's going on? Why don't those strange birds attack the one in front, but the one behind? Do these strange birds have preferential treatment for people with outstanding looks? You're overthinking. It's probably because that guy has special means. After all, he can fly, so it's not strange that he's not attacked by strange birds. Yes, this level has a 72-hour time limit. Let's find a way to enter the tower quickly. The candidates were quite puzzled about the fact that the strange birds did not attack Link, but attacked others, but they couldn't figure it out. This third exam has a time limit, and the candidates don't want to waste time anymore, so they put their attention back on finding the entrance to the Tower of Trickery. Unlike other candidates who still need to find the entrance, Link, who only takes a few minutes to go from the top of the tower to the bottom, can come to the waiting area in advance to rest. It's still early. According to the original situation, I still need to wait here for 3 days. I might as well try to set my own daily training of constraints and oaths. Link muttered to himself. When he was on the airship, he had already formulated his daily training requirements for constraints and oaths. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and 10 kilometers of running every day. This training content is also the training method of Mr. Saitama in One Punch Man. The only difference from Saitama is that Link's training will bring stones for weight training. With his current physical strength, he chose 40 kilograms of stone weights. Although the constraints and oaths set by Link are not difficult, the efficiency of practice that can be improved is naturally not much. But the constraints and oaths to assist practice have never been just about the improvement of practice efficiency. He must also consider whether he can complete it every day. After all, if one day is not completed, it is equivalent to violating the constraints and oaths set by himself, and thus receiving certain penalties. Therefore, he deliberately did not set the difficulty of constraints and oaths too difficult, so as to ensure that he has time to complete practice every day. Just as Link was doing his daily training, candidates arrived at the end of the Tower of Tricks one after another. The second candidate to arrive was Hisoka. The next was the nail-headed monster Jitaraku, the ninja Hanzo, and Xiaoji and his group. As soon as they walked out of the Tower of Tricks, some candidates were even pierced by the sunlight and burst into tears. After all, they had been in the Tower of Tricks for 3 consecutive days, and it would be somewhat uncomfortable to suddenly come into contact with such a strong light source. Congratulations to all candidates for passing the third exam. The name of the next fourth exam is Hunter and Prey. The bean-faced man introduced the rules of the next exam attentively. Each candidate came forward to draw lots in order of ranking at the bottom of the Tower of Tricks. The exam adopted a points system, and their own number plate counted 3 points, and the target's number plate also counted 3 points. The number plates of the other contestants counted 1 point, and all the number plates on their bodies totaled 6 points to pass. That is to say, under the condition that their own number plates were not stolen, the candidates either hunted only their own targets or hunted 3 other candidates. After explaining the rules, Link, as the first place in the third exam, was naturally the first to go up and draw, and the name tag he drew was 294. 294, that bald ninja Hanzo. Link muttered to himself. He didn't care about his goal. Even the 2 most difficult guys in this hunter assessment, Link was not afraid. After a while, all the candidates drew the corresponding number plates. The Hunter Association also thoughtfully dispatched yachts to send all candidates to the island. The order of landing was the same as the order of drawing lots. Link, as the first place in the third exam, was naturally the first to land. After he landed on the island, he did not hide, but stood at the landing position and quietly waited for others to land on the island. This guy is so arrogant, it's obvious that he is waiting for his target. Isn't he afraid of being beaten up? Seeing Link's behavior, the candidates present not only did not question it, but their faces were full of vigilance. The candidates who can pass 3 exams and come here are not good people. What's more, Link had shown quite a lot of special means before, and it was obvious that he was not that kind of idiot. Just as the candidates were thinking about how to face Link, Hisoka, the second person to come to the island, walked up to Link with a smile on his face. "Mr. Link, let me invite you to a duel here. When Hisoka said this, the candidates present were stunned at first, and then their faces suddenly lit up. Ha ha ha, who made that guy so arrogant? Now he's being targeted. Fight. Fight all of you. It's best to fight until both sides are injured, and then wait for me to pick up the heads. Seeing Hisoka take the initiative to challenge Link, the candidates present were ecstatic. In their opinion, no matter who it is, as long as someone starts a fight, they will have the opportunity to reap the benefits and get the number plate for free. It looks like Link is in danger now. When Xiaoji and his group saw Hisoka take the initiative to challenge Link, they thought silently in their hearts. Xiaoji and Lirio had already seen Hisoka's strength as early as the second exam. Kahlua, relying on his killer sense and the mental needle buried in his head by his good brother, subconsciously believed that Hisoka was extremely dangerous and should not be approached easily. The three of them were not optimistic about Link's victory, only Kurapika was cautious and did not make a direct judgment. As the number you drew mine. Faced with Hisoka's invitation to a duel, Link frowned and asked. No, then why did you look for me? Because you are strong enough. If you are strong enough, you will be challenged. Really? Hisoka licked the corner of his mouth and looked at Link with an evil look. The reason why he came to participate in the hunter assessment was to find unripe apples, and then cultivate them into mature apples and eat them in one bite. The fundamental purpose is to eat mature apples. And now that Link, a mature apple, appeared in front of him, he would naturally not miss this opportunity. Okay, as you wish. Link took a deep breath. He doesn't like to cause trouble, but he is not afraid of it. Since Hisoka, this pervert, dares to provoke him, he will send him his favorite death. The next moment, Link opened his hands, and his whole body was wrapped in white air. The terrifying aura vented freely from Link's body. Hisoka's pupils shrank and he smiled happily. Yes, that's what I want. Even the other candidates who were far away and had not mastered the mind could sense Link's aura. What's the matter with this guy? Lirio wiped the sweat from his face. He didn't know what was wrong with his body at this moment, but he couldn't help shaking. This feeling is like facing some ancient beast. Will the next opponents be such monsters? Looking at Hisoka and Link, Xiaoji's expression became serious. Although he knew that he couldn't defeat the two with his current strength, he had to pass the hunter exam in order to see his father. Even if he had to face their level of combat power, he would not hesitate. Ha 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 ha, Link, you are more delicious than I thought. Hisoka showed a morbid smile on his face. The terrifying aura did not make him feel scared, but instead aroused his inner excitement, and his whole body kept shaking. Then let's start fighting. As Link burst out with that intimidating momentum, Hisoka laughed wildly like a pervert. Suddenly, Hisoka's energy surged like Link's. A malicious aura emanated from him and spread around. When it collided with Link's dissipated aura, the evil and ferocious aura made the surrounding candidates feel as if they had fallen into hell. These two guys look like monsters. Are they sure they are not professional hunters? The candidates looked at the two with extremely shocked expressions. The aura of the two of them alone was enough to prevent them from even taking a step closer to where they were. Just now, they wanted to wait until the two of them were fighting to the death before taking action to reap the benefits. However, this idea is no longer in their minds now. The prerequisite for reaping the benefits of the fishermen is that they can deal with the two seriously injured people. But judging from the current situation, even if the two were seriously injured, they might not be able to deal with it. Not only are the candidates with far superior strength, but the aura of these two people is very wrong. I'm afraid they are not all from the dark world. The bald ninja Hanzo broke out in cold sweat. As a ninja, Hanzo can be considered a member of the dark world. In his daily missions, he has also encountered many dangerous characters, and he has even fought against some licensed hunters. But even though he was a famous figure in the dark world, his aura was far inferior to Hisoka and Link in front of him. Their strength is no less than that of my brother and father. Kahlua gritted his teeth and said, although he has not mastered Nyen yet, due to his own excellent talent and the fact that he was born into a family that beats enemies, he has a deeper impression of the two's strength. In Kahlua's opinion, they are probably already at the top level among all humans, no less than his own father and brother. Bring it on. The battle began. Hisoka couldn't wait to take the lead, and more than 20 playing cards shot out from his hand like thunder. Strong. A large amount of chi surged out of Link's body and quickly enveloped his body, ensuring that he could effectively defend against all-round attacks. When Hisoka's playing card fell on Link, it just made a bang, bang, bang sound. Using people with far superior telekinesis abilities to display hard telekinesis is such a luxurious tactic. Seeing that his attack was blocked, Sasuo not only did not feel depressed, but instead had a hint of surprise in his eyes. If a person with normal mind ability performs GN, the amount of mind allocated to each part of the body is 10. When Link uses strong, the amount of thoughts allocated to each part of his body is 50. Although such an action can increase Link's defense to 5 times that of a person with normal telekinesis, he can effectively defend against various attacks. But at the same time, his consumption of telekinesis is 5 times that of a person with normal telekinesis ability. At least Hisoka himself doesn't think that his telekinesis is capable of using strength as extravagantly as Link's. Luxury. Link did not deny Hisoka's words. This is a fighting method he formulated based on his total telekinesis advantage that far exceeds that of ordinary telekinesis users. Not only did he maintain the hard state, but he also used condensation on a regular basis to see through Ziswonian's ability to freely stretch his love. He could see that Hisoka's pink chi had unknowingly connected to a large number of rocks around him, and then flew towards him. Use the elastic love to stick to the surrounding stones, and then use the retraction properties to create extraordinary kinetic energy. Link frowned slightly as he faced the large number of rocks hitting him. The next moment, the figure of Celestial Beast appeared behind him. Holy Arrow. As Tianuman shot out an arrow, the stone was instantly shattered into pieces. As the Nyen Beast with long-range attacks, then just attack his body directly. Hisoka muttered to himself. The moment he clearly saw Link Kenyon's ability, Hisoka decisively decided to end the temptation and chose to go with him. Fighting at close quarters, he held the playing cards and slashed at Link. The playing cards in his hand have been strengthened by Joe's skills. This attack will definitely break through Link's hard turtle shell. Faced with Hisoka's approach, Link retreated while allowing the Celestial Beast to continuously attack him. The proficiency in reading skills is pretty good. The corners of Hisoka's mouth raised slightly, his pace suddenly quickened, and his body seemed to disappear. Ordinary people can't catch his movements at all. He is very confident in his speed and agility, and all he needs to do is stay close to Link. Boom! With a violent explosion, a huge cannon crater appeared in front of Hisoka, which directly frustrated his plan. Such a fast reaction speed. Did you guess my plan? When Hisoka saw this, the corner of his mouth raised, and he continued to move forward, but the sacred arrow of the goddess beast fell on his path again. There was even a time when he himself was hit by a sacred arrow because he failed to stop the car. This is interesting. Hisoka's face showed excitement. Flexible love. This time, Hisoka's flexible love was not intended to continue attacking with stones. He glued his flexible love to the trees on both sides of Link. I'm here. Hisoka smiled slightly, and used the elastic rubber properties of love to shoot his body like a bow and arrow. It was so fast that it instantly stuck to Link's side. The poker cards in his hand flashed past. With this slash, Hisoka was absolutely confident that he could kill with one blow. However, the next moment, his eyes suddenly shrank. When the poker card that he had high hopes for chopped Link, it made a crisp sound. The poker card in his hand that was strengthened by Joe was instantly shattered, and only a tiny blood mark was cut on Link's body. Anjouamon then cast a sacred bubble on Link, and the tiny blood mark recovered at a speed visible to the naked eye. Not only that, even the love that Hisoka had just secretly attached to Link was purified. Not only does it have such a strong defense, but the Mind Beast also has the ability to recover. Seeing this scene, Hisoka's eyes were full of surprise. Is this guy a little too supermodel? You're done attacking. Then it's my turn. Link's face was indifferent, and he looked at Hisoka as if he was looking at a dead person. Is Hisoka strong? Very strong. He has a variety of fighting styles and a good fighting IQ. But there is a problem, that is, as a wild man, his foundation is much worse than Link. In the Greed Island chapter of the original work, Hisoka and Reza had a volleyball battle. Although this is not a real battle, it also exposed some problems of Hisoka. He is slightly lacking in strength, at least not as good as Reza. His defense is insufficient, and he forcibly took Reza's volleyball and broke all his fingers. To put it bluntly, Hisoka is positioned as an assassin in the game, with fast speed, decent strength, and low defense. Perhaps when facing ordinary strong people, his weaknesses are nothing. His strength is decent, as long as he has enough power to cause damage, Hisoka can kill his opponent. But when facing Link, Hisoka's weakness of slightly insufficient strength was directly exposed. It's like Netero fighting the Ant King. It seems that his attacks hit the opponent countless times, but a closer look shows that he did not cause any damage to it. It was not until now that Hisoka suddenly realized that none of his normal fighting methods could hurt Link. And at this moment, Link had no intention of continuing to mess with Hisoka. A large amount of chi poured into his fist, and then punched out. Am I going to die? No, this is also my chance. There was a hint of madness in Hisoka's eyes, but his fighting ideas were still clear. At this moment, Link transferred part of his chi to his fist for this fatal blow, and his defense was extremely empty. And he used his flexible love to stick to the top of the tree and avoided Link's attack. Now, Hisoka used all the chi in his body to attach to the playing cards and slashed towards Link. Just when the playing cards slashed Link's body, there was only a bang, and Link's body turned into a ball of white mist and disappeared. What? Seeing this scene, Hisoka's eyes were full of disbelief, and the next second Link's fist slammed down from behind. There was a sharp roar, and a huge hole appeared on the island. Hisoka was lying in it, without any breath. Is he dead? Link used condensation to check Hisoka's body and confirmed that he was completely dead. What surprised him even more was that there was no trace of afterlife thoughts on Hisoka's body. Could it be that my fight with him made him happy? Link scratched his head, but regardless of whether Hisoka had left afterlife thoughts, Link still condensed a gas bomb to destroy the opponent's body. Lest Hisoka be resurrected later and disgust him. That second Hisoka died just like that. Nonsense, his body is gone, could he still be alive? What happened to them just now? I saw stones flying towards Link inexplicably, and then exploded. Then I couldn't see anything clearly. Are we the same species? Are these two monsters sure they are not monsters? On the yacht, the candidates who had not yet landed on the island stared at this scene in amazement. Most of the candidates present had not learned the ability of mind. Whether it was Link's mind beast or Hisoka's flexible love, they had no way to see it. The whole battle between Link and Hisoka was only seen clearly by the examiners of the Hunter Association and Illumi, who was disguised as a spike-headed monster. What a dangerous guy. Killua must not be allowed to meet him. Illumi muttered to himself. Even though he had experienced many battles and had seen countless masters, he was shocked by Link's violence at this moment. His strength was on par with Hisoka's. Hisoka used the poker cards that had been strengthened by Joe to only break a layer of Link's skin, so his mind needles might not be able to penetrate. Killua must not be allowed to touch such a dangerous person. At this moment, Illumi's brother control attribute broke out. He had already begun to think about whether he needed to control the mind needle to make Killua give up the idea of taking the hunter exam. Amazing. That pervert called Hisoka actually lost. And that candidate called Link was so cruel that he killed the other person directly. Fortunately, none of our number plates belong to this guy. Lirio looked at Hisoka's body, feeling both fear and relief. The target number plate of the three of them was not 406, at least they didn't need to hunt monsters like Link. Kurapika, but his target number plate might be us. Lirio, forget it, I feel that I am not strong enough, so I'd better go back home. Together. After seeing Link's terrifying strength, the other candidates felt scared, and some of them were directly afraid of going to the island and voluntarily chose to give up. And the remaining candidates who did not give up, although they were reluctant, still went to the island with nervous emotions. Fortunately, they were not Link's target. Seeing that he didn't look at them, they quickly quickened their pace and ran deep into the island. Until the bald ninja Hanzo came up. Link stretched out his hand and said straight to the point, I need your number plate. Hanzo's expression froze, and then without any hesitation, he threw his number plate to the other party. Facing such a ruthless man who killed his opponent directly, Hanzo dared not play tricks. Anyway, it was easy to get 6 number plates with his strength, so there was no need to confront Link head-on. Thank you. Link took the number plate from Hanzo, which meant that Link's goal for this assessment had been achieved. Next, he just had to wait for the exam time to end. So, he closed his eyes and planned to rest for a while in the same place, and after recovering his physical strength, he would start his daily training on the island. Seeing that Link didn't do anything to him, Hanzo couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. It seems that Link might not be as bad as he had imagined before. So he left quickly to find his prey. Time passed quickly, and in the blink of an eye, the 4th round of the Hunter exam was over. The 4th round of the Hunter exam is over. 9 people have passed. Link number 406, gone no. 405, Kurapika number 404, Lirio number 403, Baku number 53, Kahlua no. 99, Hanzo number 294, Jitoraiku number 301, and Botaro no. 191. Except for the above 9 people, the rest of the candidates can leave on the association's airship. Accompanied by the speech of the bean-faced man, the other candidates who did not complete the task boarded the airship to go home. The remaining 9 people were arranged to rest in the same room. It's finally over. This exam is really not easy. Lirio couldn't help but sigh. Kurapika, we're lucky. Look, even someone as strong as Hisoka died in the exam in the end. In Kurapika's view, the reason why they can stand here is not only because they have certain strength, but also because of good luck. There are many eliminated candidates who are much stronger than him, but in the end he can stand here. He even felt that this might be the blessing of the tribesmen in heaven. Yes, Lirio nodded and agreed. At this moment, a crisp voice came from the radio. Everyone, please pay attention, please come to the conference room if the candidate's number is called. The first candidate is no. 406 Link. After hearing the broadcast, Link stood up and followed the instructions to come to the conference room. The entire conference room was occupied by President Netero. Link, I never thought you were strong enough to kill Hisoka. It seems I won't be alone in the future, ha ha ha. Seeing Link, Netero smiled kindly. Obviously, President Netero also paid attention to the battle between Link and Hisoka in the 3rd exam. It's just that my fighting style happens to restrain him. Link replied. Hee. Netero just shook his head and didn't respond. After a moment of silence, he got to the point. The next test is an interview. You need to answer a few questions for me. The first question, why do you want to take the Hunter exam? Link thought for a while, then replied, one is to find a suitable companion, and the other is to become stronger. Find a companion. Hearing this, Netero was a little surprised. With your current ability, there are few things in the world that can stump you, right? Link continued to answer. Maybe there are not many such things, but I did encounter them. I want to go to a place that is very dangerous, so I need help. Go to a place. Netero rolled his eyes and immediately guessed where the other party was talking about. But he couldn't say it. Hee. Then the next question is, who do you care about the most and who do you want to compete with the most? President, you should ask them who wants to compete with me. Quote. Ha ha ha. Really? That's it, let the next candidate come in. Okay. After collecting the ideas of all the candidates, Netero made a battle table. The final test of the Hunter exam is a one-on-one elimination match. Unlike the general elimination match rules, Netero formulated a loser promotion match. Candidates only need to win 1 game to qualify, and only one of the 9 will be eliminated. Link was the first to go on stage, and his opponent was Kahlua. And the battle ended before it even started. During the game, Killua's good brother Illumi used his telekinesis to control Kahlua in order to prevent Kahlua from getting hurt, so that he would admit defeat. In this way, Link easily completed the promotion without experiencing a battle at all. The subsequent plot is almost the same as the original work. Kahlua killed the martial artist and eventually lost his qualification. The remaining candidates successfully obtained the Hunter license. Become a Hunter, then become a high-level member of the Hunter Association, find a way to go to the Dark Continent to gain power, and eventually become a high-level member of V5 or V6, fundamentally changing the positioning of the Meteor Street landfill. Now I have completed the first step, and I hope I can succeed in the end. Link took a deep breath. That day, he slept soundly. His consciousness slowly floated into the palace. In the gray mist palace, full-time hunter Link slowly opened his eyes. This small gathering in the palace was quite full of people. Qianlong's Adventure Link, Pirate Link, Naruto Link, and Link who had evolved into Greymon were all present. One more Link. Who are you? All the Links looked at Link, who was wearing strange clothes and looking thin, with questions on his face, and then directly pulled him over to share their memories. I just thought I was hit by some Taigu trick. After merging the memories, the newcomer Link, or Link with the red eyes, said with a plaintive look on his face. Fortunately, I have all the bosses to guide me. This life of Zhangqiang is simply unforgettable. People are being killed in the imperial capital every day, and all the wild dogs outside the city are fat and look better than me. It's not easy. For Link Zhangqiang's cry, the Links present expressed deep sympathy. Link, the full-time hunter, patted the shoulder of Link with red eyes and comforted him. I was in the same situation at Meteor Street at the beginning, but now I'm much better after sharing my power. Well, next I will try my best to become as strong as possible. I will first go to the Imperial Fist Temple to learn combat boxing techniques, and then strive to obtain a potential transformable Imperial weapon, said Zhangqiang Link. In Zhangkai Tong, most of the Imperial tools are plug-and-play prop types. There is no way for these prop types of Taigu to give other Links power through sharing. Therefore, the Taegear that Link Zanshitomi hopes to obtain is the evil spirit haunting the original protagonist, or the demonic appearance of Esdeath, which can strengthen the body type. Hokage Link nodded. Very good, Zhangqiang's combat power is quite good. Moreover, Link, a full-time hunter, has also gained a lot this time. The complete foundation of Nen ability has been laid, and it will help me not too small. In a sense, the nature of Naruto's chakra is very similar to that of a full-time hunter. Not only can Naruto Link convert the opponent's Nen into his own chakra, but he may also be able to localize the use of the Nen that full-time hunter Link has learned and turn it into some kind of ninjutsu. Then please work hard together when you go back, and strive to gain more strength next time we meet. Konoha Village, Ninja School. Naruto Link, who was sleeping on the table, woke up from his sleep. Unlike other Link's timelines, which are almost all at the beginning of the original work, Naruto Link's timeline is obviously the most special one. His timeline is before the start of the Third Ninja War, and the students in the same class are Yuhi Kurenai, Asuma, and Obito. Naruto Link was quite happy about this difference from the other Links. Even with the golden finger of sharing talents with other Links, he also couldn't guarantee that he would be able to get involved in future battles of the same level as local natives versus aliens. The time at this moment may also be dangerous, as the Third Ninja War is about to begin, but overall there are not many monsters. At least Link feels that if his strength can be raised to cage level, then he will be fine as long as he doesn't seek death in the Third Ninja World War. Link, my family made 2 lunch boxes today, and I'll give you the extra one. Not long after Link woke up, a girl with black hair and red eyes walked over, her cheeks slightly red. Thanks, Red. When Link heard someone talking to him, he was stunned for a moment, then saw the other person's appearance clearly and smiled and took the bento from the other person's hand. Unlike other Links who had an unhappy life before sharing the golden finger, Naruto Link was not ill-treated either physically or mentally because he was born into the Senju clan. Needless to say, on the physical level, as the largest clan in the ninja world, the Senju clan's assets can be said to be quite wealthy. Link has been in a state of having nothing to worry about since he was a child. As for the spiritual aspect, in order to cultivate the spirit of fire, the village publicized the deeds of the first generation and the second generation in Konoha Village. Both the first generation and the second generation came from the Senju clan, so both civilians and ninjas in Konoha Village cared very much for Link, who was from the Senju clan. Not only do you get discounts when you buy things, but even when you eat ramen, barbecue, etc., the portions are larger than others. Especially compared to another member of the Red-Eyed Ninja clan, the treatment is so many times better. The results of yesterday's test have been released. This time, Link, you are number 1 in the class. Yuhi Hong said happily. Similar to the village second generation, class in the original work, Link's class lineup is also quite luxurious. There are original characters such as Kakashi, Yuhi Kurenai, Nohara Rin, Sarutobi Asuma, and Uchiha Obito. These are either from prominent families in Konoha or are geniuses among common people. Being able to enter this class basically means that they have been included in the village's key training targets. It is indeed a good result to get first place in this kind of class. But that's for ordinary people. The requirements for someone like Link are much higher. Although it is a key training target, the things taught in the ninja school are still too simple. I feel that I need to use my connections to learn some high-level ninjutsu. Faced with Yuhi Kurenai's words, Hokage Link did not answer. Instead, he sighed and thought in his heart. Before sharing his talent, his idea was to study step by step and then graduate from the ninja school. But after sharing his talent, his idea changed. Although he now has a chakra volume comparable to that of an elite jonin, he has been in the ninja school and has no chance to learn high-level ninjutsu, so he can only rely on physical skills to fight. Therefore, his current strength is at most a special jonin. He must learn some powerful ninjutsu to the level of proficiency before he can improve his strength to the level of an elite jonin corresponding to the amount of chakra. Shadow Clone Technique, Flying Thunder God, 8 Gates Ninja, Rasengan. Give priority to learning these ninjutsu, and then consider learning the rest of the ninjutsu. Link is cautious about choosing ninjutsu. His talent is not bad, but he still doesn't want to waste his precious time on some useless ninjutsu. In the original work, Kakashi, the copy ninja, claims to know thousands of ninjutsu, but there are only a few commonly used ninjutsu. This illustrates 2 points. The first point is that learning does not mean mastering. If you cannot master the ninjutsu, it is better not to use it. The second point is that a considerable number of ninjutsu are fundamentally not as useful as some powerful ninjutsu. Therefore, it is also necessary for him to select qualified and powerful ninjutsu configurations for his own combat system. The ninjutsu that Link wants to learn are all ninjutsu that have shined in the original work, and there is no need to master any blood limit or blood elimination. In theory, anyone can use it. What he needs to do now is to find a good teacher for himself to learn these ninjutsu better. Hokage's office. Link, this is not a matter of money. According to the rules of our Konoha village, you cannot use money to exchange for ninjutsu. Looking at Link, whose temperament is vaguely similar to his teacher, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but feel a headache. Early this morning, the other party suddenly ran over and said that the things learned in the ninja school were too simple. He took out a large sum of money and said that he wanted to entrust 2 ninjas in the village, Minato Namikaze and Mighty, to learn ninjutsu. If it was just a small sum of money, he might not care so much and just refuse directly. However, what Link took out this time was not a small amount, but a full 5 million silver taels, which made him not know what to do. But Hokage, I am not going to use money to exchange for Konoha's ninjutsu, but to entrust Konoha's ninjas to teach me to learn the ninjutsu of the family. Link said slowly. Theoretically, Konoha does have a rule that ninjutsu cannot be exchanged for money. But the family is undoubtedly an exception. The family can pass on their own ninjutsu to future generations unconditionally. Most of the ninjutsu in the Konoha secret scrolls were recorded by the Senju clan itself. After all, most of the ninjutsu in Konoha village were developed by the Senju clan and the second-generation Hokage, Senju Tobirama. Link issued the task with the purpose of the ninja teaching him to learn the ninjutsu of their Senju clan. In this way, it seems that there is really no problem. Sarutobi Hiruzen was entangled. Link struck while the iron was hot and said, Hokage, I am willing to invest another 5 million in Konoha construction. Okay, I'll let my men arrange it as soon as possible. Now Minato is still stationed at the border, I'll find Mighty for you first. This is not a matter of money, the main thing is that Konoha needs construction now. Konoha village, butcher shop. A man in a green tights looked at the price tag of the butcher shop, and his heart couldn't help but skip a beat. What? Why is the price of beef going up again? 500 yuan per pound. This is too expensive. The shop owner took a look at the green tights on Might Die, and a trace of disgust flashed in his eyes. Might Die, we don't want to do this either. You also know that the recent situation is not good. The purchase price has increased, and the price we sell can only increase accordingly. But this is too expensive. Forget it, I'll leave one piece for Kai to eat. I'll just eat more rice today. Might Dai took out his wallet and looked at the scattered change in it with some help. He was just a genin, and because he couldn't find teammates, he could only accept very few tasks, nothing more than some hard labor and help find cats. The rewards for these tasks were extremely low, and the price increase was undoubtedly a heavy blow to him. Just when he wanted to pay the bill, a cat mask suddenly appeared in front of him. Might Dai, I'm Might Dai, are you Anbu? Might Dai looked at the cat-faced mask in front of him with surprise. Why would an Anbu come to his door? Hokage-sama has a mission for you to take, follow me now. Hokage-sama, a mission. I understand. Might Dai was stunned at first, and his face showed a rare seriousness. Although he didn't know what the specific content of the mission was, since it was a mission assigned by Hokage-sama, it must be a very difficult mission. Considering the recent bad situation, Konoha's borders have conflicts with many ninja villages, so that the prices in the village have risen. Might Dai wondered if this was because Hokage-sama discovered his ability and wanted him to make a contribution to Konoha. At that moment, Might Dai was ready to die. So he immediately followed the footsteps of the Anbu and went to the Hokage building. After Might Dai and the Anbu left, several shop owners and customers looked at each other's backs and chatted as if nothing had happened. Looking for Might Dai, could it be that Hokage needs a comedian? Who knows, but who would like this kind of comedian? He wears a green tights all day and bursts into tears from time to time, which is disgusting. I heard that guy always makes the same mistakes when doing missions, which leads to mission failures. Many ninjas dislike him. It shouldn't be a big deal for Hokage to look for him. In the impression of the villagers of Konoha, their impression of Might Dai is that he is strangely dressed, and a 10,000-year-old genin, and they don't think that the Hokage can look for him for any important matter. Hokage, I'm here. Seeing the third-generation Hokage appear in front of him, Might Dai's face was full of excitement. He was ready to accept an important mission. Even if this mission might require him to sacrifice his life, he would not hesitate. Might Dai, you are here. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Might Dai casually, and then looked at the file in his hand. The above records that almost all the tasks that Might Dai has performed are not combat, but some basic tasks such as cleaning up garbage and finding lost pets. If Link asked Minato Namikaze to teach him ninjutsu, Sarutobi Hiruzen would not have any doubts at all. After all, Minato is now a little famous among the Konoha ninjas. Then why Link actually chose to let Might Dai teach him taijutsu, which really confused Sarutobi Hiruzen. He didn't see that Might Dai had any strength. Even Sarutobi Hiruzen wondered if this was a task that Link set up to give away rewards in order to help those ninjas who were in difficult situations. If that's true, then your teachers will of fire now has a successor. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes flickered. Then he looked at Might Dai and spoke slowly. It's like this, Link, a student of the Senju family's ninja school, hopes that you can go over and guide him in physical training. The reward is 500,000 taels. If it's okay, just sign it. After that, he handed a task list to Might Dai. What? A ninja school student wants to learn physical training from me. Hearing this, Might Dai immediately realized that his previous imagination of the secret mission assigned by the Hokage was wrong. He was a little disappointed that he couldn't show his value. But then he saw that the task reward on the task list was as much as 500,000 taels, and he was shocked. This money even exceeded the reward for all his tasks in a year. Hokage, are you sure it was Link who assigned me to take this mission? Might Dai's voice was trembling slightly, somewhat unbelievable. In Konoha, he had never received any appreciation, and he did not think he was worth this price. Yes, Link trusts you very much, so you have to work hard to teach him taijutsu. Sarutobi Hiruzen answered casually. Anyway, as long as Might Dai agreed, Link would give him the Konoha construction fee. The Senju clan's residence, Link's backyard. Link smiled and said, "Hello, Mr. Might Dai, I'm Link." Faced with Link's friendliness, Might Dai greeted him somewhat uncomfortably. "Hello, Mr. Link, I'm Might Dai." In Konoha village, he had basically never been respected by others, and was even despised for his weird clothes and strange behavior. The Link in front of him was probably the first person who was willing to show him kindness and spend a lot of money to let him guide his practice. Mr. Might Die, you should have felt the turbulence in the ninja world recently. If nothing unexpected happens, the Third Ninja World War should break out in the near future. In order to survive in this war, I hope you can teach me physical skills. Link said very solemnly. Sharing the physique of the pirate Link, his physical fitness is far superior to those fragile ninjas, and even the physical fitness of ordinary physical skills ninjas may not be as strong as Link. With such a strong physique, the efficiency of learning the 8 gates of Dunjia can be said to be twice the result with half the effort. And the power of the 8 gates of Dunjia is also related to the physique of the caster himself. The power of his secret technique should not be weaker than that of Might Guy in the original book. Learn physical skills. No problem, I just have a unique skill that I have practiced for 20 years. As long as your physique is qualified, I will teach it to you. Might Guy's eyes lit up and he gave Link a thumbs up. Then first of all, I have a gift for you. After that, he took out a set of green tights from some 4-dimensional space and handed it to Link. Ah, this. Link looked at the green tights in Might Guy's hand and froze. This is the ultimate suit that is breathable and moisturizing. Might Guy smiled heartily. After hearing this, Link took the green tights from the other party. Okay. He remembered that in the original book, Naruto actually wore this set of green tights, and he looked cute. What's more, this set of tights is not only breathable, but also can help with weight bearing, which can really bring convenience to practice. Link has no reason to refuse. Just like that, after Link changed his clothes, he began to practice with Might Die. Link, first I need to test your physical fitness, so as to arrange the weight for you. Might Die said. Okay. Link nodded, he looked around, and then set his target on a tree in the yard. Then he walked to the side of the tree, bent down directly, hugged both sides of the trunk with both hands, and shouted. With a boom, the whole ground trembled slightly, layers of soil exploded one after another, and broken roots emerged from the ground. Link, your physical fitness is quite amazing. After seeing Link's actions, Might Die's eyes lit up. What Link had just uprooted was not a sapling, but a normal tree that had grown for several years. Being able to uproot this tree, Might Die felt that his strength might not even be as high as Link's. You must have gone through a lot of training to grow to this point. As Might Die said this, tears came pouring down, and then he kept repeating that this is youth. Link was really embarrassed to hear this. He did go through a lot of training to obtain his physical fitness, but these trainings were not practiced by him, but by Pirate Link and Hunter x Hunter Link. He himself still pays more attention to extracting his own chakra. Good, I didn't expect your physical fitness to meet the standard. Then I will give you my 8 gates of Dunjia next. Soon Might Die put away his crying expression and his expression became a little serious. It's rare to meet a good seedling with enough physique willing to practice with him, so he naturally has no idea of hiding it. He even vaguely hopes that Link can carry forward the 8 gates of Dunjia. The so-called 8 gates of ninjutsu is a technique that removes the body's restrictions on chakra and releases excess energy. In the chakra meridian system, there are 8 gates, namely, Kaiman, Exyaman, Shungman, Changeman, Duman, Jingmun, and Shiman, which restrict chakra. As long as the gate is opened, some restrictions can be removed. If all 8 gates are opened, all restrictions can be directly removed, and the power can be completely released, and even the strength of the shadow level can be reached. Might Die introduced. The so-called key to practicing the 8 gates of ninjutsu is to break the restrictions of the 8 gates in the body. And because the 8 gates of ninjutsu itself is an explosion of the body's extreme capabilities, the more power it can explode, the more damage the body will inevitably suffer. Therefore, it is necessary to practice and exercise in advance to adapt in advance. To practice the secret art of 8 gates, you don't need much talent, but hard work to achieve results. With your current physical condition, I suggest you go to the ninja tool shop and buy the special metal that can become heavier by absorbing chakra, so you don't need to change it back and forth. Another thing is that practicing this 8 gates will inevitably cause damage, so you'd better check your body frequently to avoid hidden diseases. Might Die advised. He knew that Link was a member of the Senju clan and he must not be short of money, and he must be able to afford the medical expenses. So, does Mr. Might Die have any hidden diseases? Link asked. Logically speaking, Might Die practiced the 8 gates without any guidance and with poor financial conditions, so he should have many hidden diseases. Hearing Link's question, Might Dai was stunned at first, then smiled bitterly. It can be said that there are some. Because he was often excluded by his companions, he often couldn't get a mission. Even if he occasionally got a mission, the mission reward was relatively small. Even if he bought things on weekdays, he only dared to look at the discounted food. Under such circumstances, he naturally had no money for daily medical treatment. Then how about this? You can tell the medical ninjas in the hospital that I asked you to go and you can get a discount, and I will give you the mission of our Senju clan. Link said. Although their Senju clan has withdrawn from the front line, they have also withdrawn from the power center of Konoha. But this does not mean that the Senju clan is gone. In fact, the Senju clan now has more entered the medical system and education system of Konoha. As long as Might Dai explains the situation to the hospital, he can enjoy the discounted medical resources of the Senju clan like Link. Is it really possible? Might Dai was stunned for a moment and asked. He does have a lot of hidden diseases, which in a sense have a significant impact on his strength. If he can really cure these hidden diseases, his strength will not only reach the level of Jonin, but also be promoted to Chunin. Of course, Link smiled. Maybe after you are cured, our Konoha will have another powerful ninja. Ninja school. It was not yet time for morning classes, and there was a commotion on the playground at the moment. Many tall, short, fat and thin boys and girls could be seen gathering here. A group of boys and girls looked at Link wearing green tights with mocking faces. Link, are you going to change your career to be a comedian? Do you want to go on stage and perform? They didn't know what inspired Link. They thought the things taught in the ninja school were too simple, so he went to learn taijutsu from a 10,000-year-old genin. He is obviously a member of the Senju clan, but instead of wearing his own family clothes, he is wearing an ugly green tights. This is simply an embarrassment to the ninjas like them. He must be taught a lesson. It's boring, I have no interest in it. Link casually resisted the opponent's encirclement. This time he came to the ninja school, just like Kakashi 2 years ago, to submit an application for early graduation. He is 8 years old this year, and he is not a carefree 3-year-old. Therefore, I don't want to waste my precious time on these little brats from the ninja school. Link, what do you mean? Sarutobi Asuma, who was dressed in bad clothes, stepped forward and stopped him. Even if you don't fight, then change me into normal clothes. Does it bother you that I'm wearing this outfit? Are you deliberately looking for trouble? Link's face was full of questions. What do you mean by deliberately looking for trouble? You running around in such ugly clothes will affect the prestige of our ninjas. Please change me into normal clothes. Seeing the confident look on the other party's face, Link didn't know what to say. The original book says that Asuma was a delinquent when he was young, but Link disagrees with this. At the very least, he would say please. If it were an evil Uchiha, he might not directly take action. Sorry, I have to leave. Link didn't want to conflict with the other party, but the other party still refused to let him go. Stop. Since you don't want to take it off, then we will help you take it off. After Asuma said that, the kid from the other ninja clan also came forward, as if he wanted to cause some school violence to Link. But the next second, looking at the imps surrounding him, Link suddenly shouted and stomped on the ground. A wave of air blew up from the ground, knocking all the little devils to the ground. You guys are so weak that you can't even stand still. You'd better drink more milk and do more exercise. After Link finished speaking, he shook his head and walked towards the ninja school. Is he really Link? Sarutobi Asuma climbed up from the ground in embarrassment, looked at Link's back, gritted his teeth and didn't know what he was thinking. Obviously before, when Link was still in the ninja school, he could still win or lose with the other party, but now the other party just stamped his feet, and he couldn't even stand firmly. Link is so fierce. Although his clothes have become ugly, his strength has also become stronger. Are the clothes ugly? Why do I feel more handsome? There seems to be a kind of powerful beauty. The ninja school students also stood up, and looking at Link's green tights, they didn't seem so uncomfortable. I heard from the adults in my family that Link has been training with a person named Mad Dai recently. Could it be that Mad Dai is some kind of hidden master? One of Asuma's followers said mysteriously. After hearing this, Asuma was stunned. He looked at his follower and asked with some surprise, "You mean Link only became so strong after practicing with that Metadai?" That's right. The follower said categorically. I heard this with my own ears from my family members. It is said that Mad Dai is a cultivator. Apart from sleeping and eating, he spends the rest of his time practicing. Cultivation mad, Asuma repeated, his expression becoming complicated. In their previous class, Kakashi had graduated 2 years early and was far more powerful than him. Now even Link, whose strength was almost the same as his before, has now surpassed him. Obviously I said I wanted to use my strength to prove to the old guy that I am not only the son of the Sandaime Hokage, I am also Sarutobi Asuma, but why am I still fooling around here? Thinking of this, Asuma's eyes burned with fire again. Asuma said with passion, no, I can't go on like this. Since Link and that Metadai can become so powerful after practicing in such a short time, then we have to learn from him too. Boss, that Mad Dai seems to only know taijutsu. We, the Sarutobi clan, are good at using fire escape. This style is completely irrelevant. The attendant on the side said cautiously. Are you discriminating against taijutsu? My chakra attribute is wind. Wind is good at cutting and suitable for using weapons for combat. My original plan was to combine ninjutsu with taijutsu. Now there happens to be a master of physical arts, so there is no reason for me to let him go. That old guy is called the Professor of Ninjutsu, so I have to use taijutsu plus ninjutsu to surpass him. Quote. Asuma said with excitement. In his life so far, his identity as the son of the Sandaime Hokage has brought him countless conveniences, but it has also brought countless shadows. No matter how well he performs, others will only praise him. He is indeed the son of the Sandaime Hokage. At that moment, Asuma realized that if he chose to follow the same path as his father, focusing on ninjutsu combat, he would never be able to escape the label of the son of the third Hokage. It was precisely because of this that he wanted to take the path of combining physical skills with ninjutsu, trying to surpass his father. I have decided to worship that Might Guy as my teacher. Not only me, but you also have to go with me. What, boss, you won't do that, right? Are we going to do that too? Hearing Asuma's words, the followers on the side were shocked. Because they heard that they had to wear that green tights with Might Guy. Although they felt that this set of green tights was not so ugly after being taught a lesson by Link just now. But it was still somewhat embarrassing for them to wear it. What's not to do? Follow me. After saying that, Asuma took the lead and walked towards Might Guy's house. Seeing this, the followers gritted their teeth and had to follow. Soon, they found Might Dai's house according to the villagers. Hint. Might Dai had just finished his morning exercise and was about to go home for breakfast, but he saw a group of little ghosts gathered at his door. What do you want? Looking at the little ghosts, Might Dai asked curiously. Asuma said with a serious face, Mr. Might Dai, we know that you taught Link, and we also want to be as strong as Link, so I want to worship you as my teacher. Looking for me to learn something? No problem, I will teach you. I have a gift for you. Might Dai raised his thumb and showed a bright smile. Not long after Link submitted his application for early graduation, he came to Might Dai's house as usual to start practicing. As a result, he saw a group of little ghosts wearing green tights here. The moment they saw Link, the little ghosts shouted solemnly in unison, Hello, Brother Link. The voice was so loud and the voice was so uniform. Those who don't know may think it is the sound of a ninja coalition training. Why are you all wearing this green tights? Link was confused. Asuma, the leader, replied, We all worship Might Dai as our teacher. Link, you are our senior brother. From today, we will start morning exercises with you. What? Although Link was reluctant, he really couldn't refuse, so he had to take them for a morning run around Konoha. Since that day, such a news has been spread in Konoha village. Senju Link was listed as the next Hokage by Sarutobi Hiruzen, and allowed to train his own ninja coalition group, and Sarutobi Asuma, the son of the third Hokage, was among them. 2 days later, the roots are within the base. Shimura Danzo looked at the letter in his hand with an ugly face, his body filled with a chilling chill. The Jinbi ninjas on the side looked at Danzo with a depressed expression, not daring to take a breath for fear that they would get into trouble. Monkey. It will only suppress me from becoming Hokage. Before it was Hatake Sakumo, followed by the Sanin and Namikaze Minato, but now an 8-year-old kid can spread the news about becoming Hokage. Danzo cursed viciously. Regarding the recent rumors in the village that Sarutobi Hiruzen intends to train Link to become the next Hokage, although he does not fully believe it, he also remains deeply skeptical. After all, who in the Leaf Village doesn't know that Danzo wants to be Hokage, and who doesn't know that Hiruzen Sarutobi doesn't want Danzo to be Hokage? What if the other party is planning to train Link to become the next Hokage? Moreover, although Link is still young at the moment, don't forget that Sarutobi Hiruzen is also the Hokage at his peak at this time. Whether it is chakra, taijutsu or ninjutsu, they are all at the peak of the shadow level. It can be said that they stand at the top of the ninja world today. Even if the other party continues to be Hokage for another 10 years, there will be no problem at all. 10 years later, Link will be 18 years old, the time to be strong. In this way, the other party really has a chance. Haha, but Hiruzen, you don't think everything can develop as you imagined, do you? Danzo took out another piece of material, with a hint of excitement in his eyes. This other piece of information stated that Kurigakure had conducted many testing and frictional contacts with Konoha on the front line. With Danzo's keen sense of war, he instantly realized that this might be a sign that war was about to break out. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen still hopes to negotiate peace with Kurigakure, and is just fighting back against the temptations of other villages. From Danzo's point of view, although Konoha is still strong today, it has lost the dominance it had when the first and second generations were still there. If we cannot take the initiative to defeat a ninja village very decisively, but are attacked jointly by various ninja villages, we will fall into a long-term battle and only increase the number of sacrifices. By then, Sarutobi Hiruzen will most likely be responsible for the Konoha ninjas who died in the war, and will be forced to voluntarily resign as Hokage. And if he can make achievements in this battle, it will be a perfect opportunity for Danzo to succeed the fourth Hokage. Even if Link can really grow up in the future, as long as he doesn't give up his position. Thinking of this, Danzo said to the root ninja beside him, "You continue to collect information from the village. The situation on the border is not good recently. I need to go to the front line in person to contribute to Konoha." The root ninja nodded and quickly disappeared into the darkness. Hokage's office. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the information in his hand and looked confused. When did I say I wanted to train Link to be the next Hokage? Sarutobi Hiruzen was confused for a moment. Regarding the choice of the fourth Hokage, his favorite candidate is Orochimaru or Namikaze Minato. How did Link escape? Isn't he just an 8-year-old kid? The other party wanted to be Minato's disciple before, but now that the news comes out, it's going to be difficult. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought silently. Among the top brass in Konoha, Sarutobi Hiruzen was tacitly aware of the candidate for the next Hokage. It's nothing more than a choice between Orochimaru and Namikaze Minato. If the people in the village choose to believe this rhythm, then if he recommends Link to Namikaze Minato as a disciple at this time, wouldn't the top brass of Konoha think that the next Hokage will be Minato, and the next Hokage will be Link? Although his heart does favor Minato at the moment, Minato is too young after all, and his achievements and qualifications are not as good as Orochimaru's. If he expresses his attitude during this period, it will cause some waves within the village. Now that foreign enemies are facing us, we must not let this happen. It seems that we can only talk to Link and return half of the fee. Anyway, he has also accepted Mad Dai as his disciple, which can be regarded as completing half of the mission. It's reasonable to get half the reward for the task. The residents of the Thousand Hands clan. Why am I the next Hokage candidate? Aren't these newspapers just spreading rumors? Which ninja village would let a child who is just 8 years old become the next Hokage? No one would really believe such an obvious rumor. And why has no one asked me my opinion and asked me if I would like to be Hokage? Is it possible that they just assume that everyone wants to be this miserable Hokage? Link was speechless when he saw the prominent headline on the newspaper. Unlike those Konoha elders who dreamed of becoming Hokage, Link had no idea at all about the position of Hokage. To be more precise, in his opinion, the so-called Hokage is a hard-working position that involves overwork every day. Not only are there a lot of external things, but internally the various families and old people like Danzo are also in trouble. In the original book, Naruto, who became the Hokage, was as tired as a dog all day long, and even his shadow clone looked languid. This is true even for a physical monster like Naruto, so I'm afraid he will become useless after just 2 years of work. Wouldn't it be great for him to just be an ordinary ninja? He could just complete a few tasks and basically don't need to worry about money. You can even work for a day and rest for a month. After becoming Hokage, I am afraid that half of the day will be wasted on office work. He doesn't want to be Hokage, whoever wants to be one can be one. Link just wants to practice diligently and improve his own strength as much as possible to deal with various troubles in the future. These newspapers probably think that I and those second-generation villagers are wearing green tights, including Asuma, the son of the third generation, so they think I may be the next Hokage. It seems that I have to explain clearly and tell everyone that this is just an ordinary training suit. Thinking of this, Link stood up and walked towards the newspaper office in Konoha. He planned to ask the guys in the newspaper office to write a statement that this green tights is just an ordinary training suit. The activities of these people are not like the ninja group training of the Anbu and the Root, but just ordinary exercise together. The most important point is that he, Senju Link, has no intention of becoming Hokage at all. Brother Link, you are out. Just as Link was about to go out to the newspaper office, the little ghosts from the ninja school surrounded him with excitement. Congratulations, Brother Link, for becoming the candidate for the next Hokage. I heard from my family that this is true. Then will we have the opportunity to become Brother Link's Anbu in the future? Don't worry, we will never be a drag. Looking at the excited expressions of the little ghosts from the ninja school, the corners of Link's mouth twitched slightly. He suddenly realized that he might not be able to explain it clearly. Time flies. More than 4 months have passed. The news about Link becoming the next Hokage has disappeared without a trace. Compared with the candidate for the next Hokage, the newspaper now has more important news to spread, and that is information about the front line. After 4 months of testing each other, multiple ninja villages now seemed to realize that Konoha no longer had the decisiveness it once had, so they began to test Konoha in various areas at the same time. Under such a tense situation, prices in the village have skyrocketed. Not to mention civilians, even ordinary ninjas would have difficulty making a living if they didn't go out to perform tasks. Against this background, the students of the ninja school finally ushered in graduation and class placement. Everyone, including Obito Uchiha, Kurenai Yuhi, and others, passed the graduation exam. Thousand Hands Station, Link's house. Link looked at the list in his hand and raised his eyebrows slightly. That Loudon Hiruzen didn't trick me this time. He gave me an elite team. Different from students of the same class, Genin can only wait to be assigned. Not long after Link graduated early, he took the time to complete the Chunin exam and was promoted to Chunin. So he was the one in charge of leading the team, and the list in his hand was the assigned Genin. Yuhi Kurenai, Asuma, and Mad Dai are not only acquaintances, but they also have 3 types of ninja, Tai, and Gen. The team is quite well-rounded. Looking at the familiar names on the list, Link didn't know whether this was Sarutobi Hiruzen's appeasement, or whether it was made up by Asuma coquettishly asking his father to act coquettishly. All in all, this is a good team assignment for Link. The 3 people on this list all performed well in the future. One of Yuhi Kurenai and Asuma will become a Junin, and the other will become an elite Junin. Even now, it is more powerful than the average Genin. As for Mad Dai, there is no need to say more. In the original work, he faced off against 7 people with the ace ninja swordsman of the Mist Ninja alone. He opened the door to death and kicked out 4 of them on the spot, seriously injuring 3 more. Since they can be used as the ace of the Mist Ninja, the 7 ninja swordsmen alone should be at the level of elite Junin. With the help of special ninja swords, their strength may also be ranked among the elite Junin levels. Mike Day was able to achieve such a record with 1 against 7, and his strongest performance also gave him the feeling of a film-level powerhouse. Although the team members are pretty good, none of them have fought together. I'll just have the team gather together tomorrow and take on a mission to get used to it. Hokage Building. Task commissions can be roughly divided into 2 categories. One is B-level and above tasks. If a ninja wants to accept them, they need to report and approve them to the Hokage. The slightly simpler C-level and D-level missions are handled by the Junin of the Mission Management Office. Only the final mission report will be put together for reporting to the Hokage. Link, here we come. Link was selecting a mission on the mission notice board when he heard a pleasant sound of joy. It's Hong, they're here. Link smiled, and when he turned his head to look over, a more joyful voice came again. Senior brother Link, we're all here. But when he saw a group of brats wearing green tights and holding two big dumbbells running over, faster than Yuhi Kurenai, and surrounding them, the smile on his lips suddenly stiffened. Senior brother Link, you may not know that we actually defeated a group of Iwa ninjas on the frontal battlefield, and at the same time made the name of our new Konoha class known. The imps simultaneously extended their thumbs and smiled brightly at Link. Defeated a group of Iwa ninjas, that's awesome. But what is the new Konoha class? At this time, Yuhi Hong also squeezed into the circle and asked curiously. Since she had some contact with Link, she knew that these green-clad little guys were actually Link's juniors and would follow him for daily training. But what is this new Konoha class? Ha ha ha. This new Konoha class is the name given to our group by senior brother Link. It means the new Konoha student army. Senior brother Link said that we will be the future successors of Konoha. Senior brother Link also said that we must defeat. Okay. Link's sense of danger suddenly spiked, and he hurriedly interrupted the dangerous speeches of these brats. Then he turned to Yuhi Hong and others and said, I have just found a mission. After saying that, he immediately shared a mission goal with everyone present. It is said that Iwagakure appears on the border between Grass Country and Fire Country. What we need to do is to detect Iwagakure's movements. The commission fee is 200,000. Link said slowly. Iwa Ninja, this mission is not safe. Looking at the task requirements, Yuhi Hong said with some worry. Their team is just a team of 3 Genin and 1 Chunin. What if they encounter the Junin of the Iwa Ninja? Now is the time of war. This kind of exploration mission is relatively safe. At least it is safer than going to confirm the front line of the battle. Link said seriously. In today's era, it is impossible to do a task without any risk. This kind of exploration mission is almost the one with the highest safety factor among all missions. Let's not talk about whether we will encounter enemies. Even if they were so unlucky in the end, even ordinary rock ninjas might not be able to beat Link and might die, or even Asuma. Thinking of this, Link glanced at Asuma. At this moment, Asuma's appearance and body shape seemed to have changed greatly from the original. After training with Link and others, his whole spirit and energy were no longer like the decadent uncle he was later. His whole body was full of strong tendons, and with his precocious face, he looked at least 30 years old. When the 4 of them went to carry out the mission, the enemy might think Asuma and Might Dai were experienced veterans, and think Link and Kurenai were rookies. Asuma said arrogantly, even if I meet the rock ninja, I'm not afraid. I will defeat them all and let everyone know my name, Asuma Sarutobi. I believe you, Asuma. Link looked at Asuma speechlessly, then patted his shoulder. If nothing else, Asuma's strength should be much stronger than his original work. Under Link's deliberate reminder, Asuma mastered the use of chakra knife to assist in releasing wind-style cutting faster than before, and he also learned the first way to open the 8 gates. If he bursts out with all his strength, ordinary Chunin will really not be able to resist. Since everything has been decided, let's set off immediately. In the land of fire, in the woods far from Konoha village. 7 figures are moving quickly through the forest. Our mission this time is quite simple, which is to wait in advance around Konoha and wait for the other Kurigakure ninjas to release the 3-tailed beast in Konoha. We can take advantage of the chaos in Konoha and cause a lot of damage in one fell swoop. Juzu Biwa, who was carrying a beheading sword, said with a smile. Now a large number of Konoha's strong men have gone to the front battlefield, and Konoha village is seriously lacking in internal combat power. Theoretically, the success rate of the 3-tailed beast and the surprise attack of the 7 ninja swordsmen is quite high. It's a pity that such a beautiful place will become a ruin by then. Looking at Konoha from a high place in the distant forest, the longsword and sewing needle holder Korizan Kushimaru couldn't help but sigh. You're overthinking. Even if Konoha is weak now, its foundation is stronger than all other ninja villages. There may even be a special sealing class to deal with the 3-tailed beast. And we don't know how long it will take to deal with those Konoha strongmen. If we are held back by the opponent, even if our 7 ninja swordsmen are strong, we may not be able to escape. So the arrangement above is mainly to kill those potential new stars in Konoha in the cradle. The Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost, the Samahata user, said slowly. As the most powerful ninja village recognized by the entire ninja world, God knows how many cards Konoha village has hidden. Even if all the members of their 7 ninja swordsmen are dispatched, they may not be able to really cause a bloody storm in Konoha. Therefore, the Hidden Mist village did not have the arrogant idea of defeating Konoha at once, but wanted to take advantage of the chaos to solve all the potential new generations of Konoha. In this way, there will be a generation gap in Konoha's ninjas, so as to facilitate the subsequent arrangement of the Hidden Mist village plan. So, which unlucky guys are we going to kill? Asked Biwa Juzo. As the intelligence department's Zigwashin Puffer Ghost took out a list and slowly said. The 3 with the highest priority are Kakashi, Link, and Uchiha Shisui. These 3 are evaluated as having the possibility of being promoted to the level of Kage and must be dealt with as soon as possible, lest we can't deal with them at that time. The remaining ninjas are basically the same, and basically have no possibility of entering the level of Kage, but it is best to deal with them when you meet them. So, our target is Kakashi, Link, and Uchiha Shisui. Look there. Biwa Juzo pointed to a small team in the distance. Hearing this, the other 6 people looked over. They didn't have the cataract vision of Konoha, and could only vaguely see a blurry back. It seems that is Link. I'm not sure, but judging from their appearance, the team is a combination of 2 adult men and 2 children. Since they are from Konoha, let's teach them a lesson. My beheading sword has a gap, and I need to suck some blood from the enemy. After that, the figures of the 7 people disappeared from the spot. At the same time, on a dirt road. Drive forward for 5 kilometers, turn right, and enter the flat road. 10 kilometers ahead, there is a lake where you can rest. Link looked at the map and reported the road book attentively. Thanks to the fact that there is a second-generation official in their team, the maps they got are much more detailed than those of ordinary ninjas, with various rest points marked, so it will be much easier to go on missions than other teams. I always feel like we are going on a trip. Yuhi Kurenai sighed. She had heard from her Jonin father before that every mission was so tiring, and she needed to survey the surrounding environment all the time. As a result, she didn't feel the slightest bit of fatigue after walking for half a day with Link and others. There are a lot of game along this route. There are either fish, rabbits, wild boars, etc. According to the map, there are even pheasants, wild ducks, etc. The ration pills they carry may not be completely consumed. Just as she was sighing, an arrogant voice suddenly sounded from the front. He, you all seem to be very happy, are you not afraid of encountering ninjas? Then 7 ninjas carrying various ninja swords appeared in front of everyone, and casually posed a set of handsome appearance poses. Could it be that the 7 of you are? Seeing the 7 people dressed in handsome clothes, Link was so shocked that he couldn't speak clearly. Seeing Link's shocked expression, the 7 ninja swordsmen also smiled. Obviously, the reputation of the 7 ninja swordsmen has spread to Konoha. Are you 7 the Ginyu Force? I didn't expect our reputation. No, what is the Ginyu Force? We are the 7 ninja swordsmen, fool. Hearing Link's mistake, Biwa Juzo cursed. I've never heard of the Ginyu Force, and the name is so ugly, you can tell it's not a powerful team. What do you mean you're not from the Ginyu Force? Link said innocently. The 7 ninja swordsmen don't sound like powerful guys. What? How dare you say that we are not powerful? If you dare, let those Ginyu Force guys come over and I'll teach them a lesson. Biwa Juzo said angrily. As one of the most elite 7 ninja swordsmen in Kurigakure, Biwa Juzo is deeply proud. In the original work, when he met Might Guy and others, Biwa Juzo showed obvious happiness when they said they had heard of their names. He was obviously surprised and happy that he was remembered by an unknown kid as a member of the 7 ninja swordsmen. But at this moment, Link showed an expression of, "Who the hell are you?" which naturally made him very angry. Biwa Juzo, who was angry, was about to take action, but was immediately suppressed by the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost beside him. Juzo, don't you realize that this kid is deliberately provoking you, wanting you to lose your mind in the battle and lose your judgment? If you fall into anger, you will fall into the trap of that kid. After hearing this, Biwa Juzo put down his hand holding the beheading sword. Is that so? He took a deep breath, and his eyes were full of vigilance when he looked at Link. What a despicable kid, you actually used this method to interfere with our battle judgment. This is the ninja of Konoha, and they are really black-hearted. But no matter how hard you try, the gap in strength between you and our 7 ninja swordsmen cannot be made up by these little tricks. Biwa Juzang was saying harsh words. The next moment, Link's figure suddenly disappeared, and then appeared in front of him again. Boom! 8 gates of Dunjia, the wound gate is open. Link's body suddenly burst out with green energy, and he punched Biwa Juzang. Despicable Konoha kid, you actually came to cheat and sneak attack. Biwa Juzang cursed angrily, and hurriedly raised the beheading sword to defend against Link's attack. Just when the beheading sword collided with Link's fist, crack, there was only a crisp sound. Link's fist was intact, and the beheading sword was pierced with a big hole. Chapter 51. No, there's something wrong with this kid. Seeing his beheading sword being smashed into pieces, Biwa Juzo's eyes shrank, and he quickly jumped back to separate himself from Link. Judging from the damage to the beheading sword, if the blow had landed on him, he would have been paralyzed. Missed hidden technique. The other 6 people on the side saw this scene and instantly realized that Link was not easy to mess with, and immediately used their Mist Hidden Village's proud ninjutsu to create an advantageous environment for themselves. For a moment, the entire area was covered by a thick white fog. Asuma, leave it to me. Wind style. Konoha whirlwind blows away the fog. Asuma's body spun at high speed like a gyroscope, and a violent gust of wind blew the nearby white fog out of a large open space. What kind of technique is this? Although this ninjutsu doesn't look like a ninjutsu, and the physical technique doesn't look like a physical technique, the effect is indeed very good. The mist hidden art that they had just spent a lot of chakra on was easily broken. Of course, this was also because they did not expect that there was a wind-style ninja in the opponent's team. I'll deal with Link, and the rest is up to you. The Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost rushed towards Link with Samahata in his hand. Samahata can not only absorb the opponent's chakra for its own use, but also use the large amount of chakra stored in Samahata to stimulate the regeneration of body cells. To put it bluntly, he is much stronger than his colleagues. Anyway, Link himself is just a chunin, and his teammates are just genin rookies. Since he already knew that Link was difficult, he would try to delay him first, and wait until his partners killed the rest of the genin team members, and then they would fight a righteous 7 against 1. Isn't this victory easy to win? You want to stop me alone? Seeing the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost rushing towards him alone, Link sneered. Since training with Might Guy, he has been as good as an average jonin simply by relying on his physical fitness. In the state of 8 gates, his strength and speed have been further improved, and he has truly reached a point that is difficult for the naked eye of a ninja who has not undergone special training to capture. Boom! Link's figure instantly appeared next to Kurikawa Kushimaru, who was holding the long sword and sewing needle. Armed Lilianwa. This is a move that Link combined with Lilianwa shown by Xiao Li in the original work and the armed color domineering in the pirate world. In an instant, his fist light turned into a residual image. Boom boom boom. Countless fist shadows fell on Kurikawa Kushimaru, making a series of ola 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 sounds. Kurikawa Kushimaru was still a human being, but was beaten into a pool of rotten meat by Link. Link, are you so powerful? In the distance, Yuji Kurenai looked at Link in disbelief. The 7 ninja swordsmen are the absolute elite force of Kurigakure, and their individual strengths are basically at the level of elite jonin. If Link could kill the other party, doesn't that mean that his strength has surpassed the elite jonin, and may even have reached the level of Kage? Thinking of this, Yuji Kurenai suddenly felt that the rumor that was circulating in Konoha might be true. Is senior brother Link so powerful? It seems that I can't stop here. Asuma's eyes were blazing with fire, and he actually held a giant chakra knife and found the blunt knife Duki holder, Tsurugi Yaito, and started fighting. What surprised the 7 ninja swordsmen was that Asuma could actually fight Tsurugi Yaito. Although he didn't kill a member of the 7 directly like Link, and was even suppressed in the battle with Tsurugi Yaito, they really couldn't quickly get rid of Asuma alone. Something's wrong. There's something very wrong. The strength of their team is very wrong. The Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost looked at the situation around him and immediately felt that something was wrong. In addition to Link, Asuma and Might Guy seemed to be equally strong. Although Asuma was suppressed, he could still delay for some time. As for Might Dai, his strength seemed to be even stronger. He also burst out steam similar to that of Link, and suppressed the owner of the explosive blade foam, Muri Shinpachi. As for the remaining Kurenai Yuhi, she knew that her strength would not be of any use in this battle. So, she ran to a distant location and used only shuriken to launch long-range attacks, and the 7 ninja swordsmen could not keep up. This battle is not small, and there is no way to get rid of them in a short time. This place is still within the scope of Konoha village. Seeing that Link decisively got rid of a colleague, and then seeing that the remaining colleagues had no way to take down the remaining 2 as soon as possible, the risk avoidance radar in the mind of Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost was instantly activated. Their original plan was to get rid of Link's team as soon as possible in a short time, and then hide again. However, the current situation is very different from the original expectation. Not only did they fail to take down the opponent, but they also lost one person. This means that they may not be able to defeat Link's team, and they will have to face the Konoha ninjas who can come to support them at any time. It's not good, hurry up. Thinking of this, Zigwashin Puffer Ghost immediately realized that the situation was not good. He didn't want to explain the situation to the other teammates, so he ran away directly, fearing that he would not be able to escape if he ran too slowly. No, what's going on? Seeing the Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost escaping, the rest of the 7 ninja swordsmen suddenly looked confused. They don't have the upper hand yet and are about to kill each other, so why are they running away? Is this Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost mentally ill? This guy is pretty smart, he's going to run away like this. Seeing the Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost running away, Link raised his eyebrows. In the original work, after 7 of them fought with Mad Dai with swords, 4 of them were kicked to death by him. The remaining 3 auspicious treasures managed to escape back to Kurigakure village, and this Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost was one of them. It can only be said that this guy's perception of danger exceeds that of his companions. But I don't want to let him go. It looks like we have to deal with the remaining guys quickly. Link snorted coldly. Since the 7 ninja swordsmen came to his door, there was no reason for him to let them go. Among the 7 ninja swords, Samahata is undoubtedly the one he wants the most. Using him in Dunjia will cause damage to the body, and Samahata can absorb chakra to stimulate cell regeneration, which is a perfect match. He certainly couldn't let it go. 8 gates of Dunjia, Du Gate opens. Link mobilized chakra throughout his body. The next moment his breath surged again. After noticing Link's aura, the remaining 7 ninja swordsmen suddenly widened their eyes. Only at this moment did they realize that the guy from Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost was right to run away. Don't worry, after I finish dealing with you, he won't be able to escape. Link showed a fierce smile, and then rushed towards the remaining 7 ninja swordsmen. 5 minutes later, he must have run away now. The Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost gasped and looked behind him in horror. Not long after he escaped, an extremely terrifying aura erupted next to him. Then he heard the screams of his colleagues. I knew something was wrong. These guys have a conspiracy. The Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost was glad that he ran fast, otherwise he would have died at the hands of the other party. We must inform Kurigakure village. This Konoha village still cannot afford to offend. Just when he breathed a sigh of relief and planned to continue escaping back to Kurigakure village to report the situation, the next moment there was a sound like hell coming from behind him. Zigwashin Pufferfish Ghost, where do you want to go? Konoha village. Hokage building. Sarutobi Hiruzen was sitting on one side of the desk. He first looked at the mission report in his hand, and then looked at the expressions of Link's team in front of him. Are you sure there is no falsehood in this mission report? Are you sure you didn't kill 7 ordinary Kurigakure? It's no wonder that he didn't believe it. The main reason was that the content of the mission report was too shocking. A mere Chunin team could actually kill the 7 ninja swordsmen who were famous in the entire ninja world. It was hard for him not to doubt whether this mission report was true. Hokage. Link was about to explain, and Asuma beside him pointed at the 7 ninja swords on the table and said impatiently, Old man, even if we can lie, these 7 ninja swords will not lie, right? In the entire ninja world, the number of ninja swords is undoubtedly quite rare. Even the simplest chakra sword that can transmit chakra is very rare, let alone these 7 ninja swords with various special abilities. If there is a craftsman who can forge, then Sarutobi Hiruzen will invite him back to Konoha as soon as possible, protect the other party's safety, and let him help make ninja swords. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded, acknowledging Asuma's words, and at the same time he sighed. It is indeed impossible to be fake, but this is really unexpected. Since the outbreak of the Third Ninja World War, the intelligence he received every day is basically not good news. Either Iwagakure or Kurigakure. I never thought that this time Link's team would bring me such great news. Now that the 7 ninja swordsmen have died and Kurigakure has been seriously injured, in order to avoid being picked by other ninja villages, they will definitely shrink back to the defense line. In this way, Konoha will not be under so much pressure. Well done, Asuma, you have grown a lot, and Link, I really didn't expect you to have such strength to be able to kill the 7 ninja swordsmen. I'm afraid your strength has reached the level of Kage. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Link with a complicated expression. Originally, he had chosen between Orochimaru and Minato Namikaze for the 4th Hokage. But now that Link had killed the 7 ninja swordsmen, Link's contribution was not small. Recalling the rumors in the village, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt that he might be able to train Link to become the 4th Hokage. Hokage, I'm too young to be a Hokage. I still recommend Minato Namikaze. Seeing the expectations and approval in the eyes of the 3rd Hokage, Link suddenly felt a sense of pressure. He himself didn't know whether the rumors were true. In short, he had to express his thoughts first, lest the other party really wanted him to become the 4th Hokage. Is that so? But it's true that you're still too young. Hearing Link's words, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt a little regretful, but nodded in understanding. Maybe Link is very strong now, but being a Hokage requires not only strength, but also political wisdom and insight. As for Link, Sarutobi Hiruzen hoped to bring him to his side for training and strive to become the 5th Hokage in the future. As for the 4th Hokage, he still planned to choose between Minato Namikaze and Orochimaru. As for Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen never considered him at all. If he became the Hokage, how could he play the game of you regretting and I becoming the Hokage with him in the future? Root. Danzo looked at the information on the table woodenly without making any response. The content of the information scroll gave him a heavy blow. Not only Orochimaru and Minato Namikaze, who were originally popular candidates, made contributions far greater than his own in the Third Ninja World War. Even Link, who he thought was a smoke bomb thrown by Sarutobi Hiruzen, actually made such a great contribution as destroying the 7 ninja swordsmen. In this way, without enough credit, does this mean that he is one step further away from the position of Hokage? That night, Danzo stayed awake all night. I plan to have a good talk with the 3rd generation elder tomorrow. In contrast to Danzo, Link is lying in bed early. After killing the 7 ninja swordsmen, he used the excuse that opening the 8 gates would damage his body to buy a period of rest for the team. In the next period of time, he can continue to practice with peace of mind for a while. In order to be in a better state of practice tomorrow, he must sleep for 12 hours. That night, Link slept soundly without any burden. In his dream, Link's consciousness was infinitely raised again, and finally he came to that familiar place again. The palace wrapped in gray fog. You are here. Hokage Link slowly opened his eyes, and the first thing he saw was those links he was already familiar with. How have you been recently? Hokage Link asked the other links in a familiar manner. Although they can share memories by bumping fists, the links' thoughts are not interoperable. He wanted to hear the other links' subjective feelings about their own world. Qianlong's Adventures Link. It's not bad at all. Some of my magic has been quite effective. But the stingy Saint Lord seems to have some bad intentions towards me. I guess he will destroy my bridges after crossing the river. Pirate Link. Alas, my hockey training is progressing slowly. There's nothing I can do. I'm not a cheater like Luffy after all. Hunter x Hunter Link. I recently had a fight with the group in the Ukexen City chapter and took Shouty away by force. Later, Kurapika seemed to have killed several members of the group. The links' chat was a little messy, but they basically understood each other's meaning. In short, after sharing their talents, the links have basically gotten rid of the plight of the bottom and started to develop towards a better life. After a simple round of communication, Naruto Link looked at the trembling panda in the palace and asked curiously, "So who is this?" "It's okay, just bump your fists and it will be clear." Pirate Link took the lead in extending his hand, and everyone bumped their fists with each other. In an instant, the Link's memories were connected. They also knew what kind of world the new panda came from. It's actually Kung Fu Panda. This is a relatively easy world among us. Hunter x Hunter Link couldn't help but sigh. The most important thing is that I have good physical fitness. I may not have good attack power, but the panda physique in Kung Fu Panda is so meaty that I can feel that my physical fitness has improved a lot. Pirate Link's mouth slightly raised. Kung Fu Panda Link. It should be because I can eat more and have more meat. Now the record of eating a bun in one bite in Peace Valley is refreshed by me and Po in turn. It's a pity that I haven't started learning Kung Fu yet. Chen Long's adventure Link laughed and said, "It's okay, you have helped us a lot. If the Jade Palace is unwilling to accept you, then I can get you some Kung Fu from my world." Chen Long Adventure World. Black Hand Building. Wallen, where is my talisman? You don't want the Golden Rooster King's treasure anymore. The Lord of the Bronze Dragon statue looked at the white-haired man in the suit in front of him with flashing eyes, his eyes flashing dangerous red light. Since Link helped him retrieve the Snake Talisman and the Dragon Talisman last time, Valone and Link's group seemed to have become lazy all of a sudden. This made the Lord extremely angry. These guys are playing badly here, so how can he be resurrected? The Lord wanted to say to Valone, "I have the Golden Rooster King's treasure. If you don't want to do it, there are many people who want to do it." But he couldn't say it. Because the Black Hand gang led by Valone has a pretty good record. This is the fastest speed of collecting talismans since the Lord turned into a statue. In just a few months, the Black Hand gang and Link helped it collect almost half of the talismans. Such a capable assistant, it really couldn't bear to curse. He had to use the Golden Rooster King's treasure to tempt the money-hungry Valone to help him do his work. The Golden Rooster King's treasure is only square root 8. Hearing the Lord's bewitching words, Valone sneered in his heart. Perhaps before he met Link, he might have been moved when he heard this, and then he would happily help the Lord do things. But after meeting Link, the mere Golden Rooster King's treasure could hardly cause any ripples in his heart. The Black Hand gang now relies solely on the green beard gloves to steal a whole glove of gold and silver treasures from the rich people in the United States every day. It's already a bit embarrassing to make money. Not to mention that they have also opened a technology company. The Handmade Masters, Han Bing Trio are the chief scientists, making all kinds of high-tech engineering machinery with their bare hands and selling them. Including but not limited to submarines, robots, rockets, etc. Now the Black Hand gang makes money faster than the printing press. Even their old rival District 13 has come to buy the high-tech engineering machinery produced by their company. In this case, the invisible and intangible Golden Rooster King treasure, like a mirage, really has no appeal to Valone. A broken statue has so many problems. If it weren't for Mr. Link's request, I would have kicked you, a broken statue, off the Black Hand building. Valone cursed fiercely in his heart. Although he had already cursed the Holy Lord 10,000 times in his heart, he still looked respectful on the surface. There's no way, Holy Lord. Mr. Link has been practicing magic recently and has no time to come to help. You also know the strength of Jackie Chan and others. Without Mr. Link's help, even with your Black Shadow Corps, we can't beat Chen Long and others. Valone said innocently. In fact, during this period, their Black Hand gang was looking for dark creatures for Link according to Link's request, and did not look for talismans. It's just that this matter can't be told to the petty guy of the Holy Lord. Link. The Lord's voice rose, sounding a little angry. Go and call Link to me. No need to call, I'll come by myself. As soon as the Lord's voice fell, a lazy and casual voice came into its ears. The Lord looked in the direction of the sound source, and saw Link slowly walking in from the gate. The Lord's stone eyes rolled, and he said in his classic cold voice, Link. Why don't you help me find the talisman? My good master, isn't it because you cheated me? Listening to the Lord's reproachful words, Link was not afraid, but threw a book in front of the Lord. I ask you why I can't learn the energy magic corresponding to the dragon talisman according to the practice method you gave me. Did you give me a fake? Hearing Link's question, the Lord's pupils shrank, and the statue trembled. After a while, he said in a very gentle tone, My good disciple, how could I lie to you? As everyone knows, I am the most trustworthy. The energy magic corresponding to this dragon spell is one of the original magics of our 8 demons, and it is naturally more difficult to learn than other magics. Hearing the words of the Holy Lord, Link's mouth slightly raised. Oh, really? According to our previous agreement, I will only give you the spell if I really learn magic. But now, Master, you haven't taught me energy magic yet. Link squinted and looked at the Holy Lord. Seeing Link's expression, the Holy Lord suddenly felt a chill, as if he had some kind of ominous premonition. So, what do you want to say? Of course, according to the contract, Master Saint, you have to help me learn energy magic. Link looked at the Holy Lord with a smile on his face. Since it is your original magic, you should be able to learn it by pointing to your dragon teeth, right? What? Hearing this, the Holy Lord's heart skipped a beat. This brat wants his dragon teeth, isn't that the same as wanting his life? You have to know that those dragon teeth are his means of resurrection, and contain a lot of original energy. Every missing one will have a huge impact on his strength after resurrection. Impossible, I can't give you my dragon teeth. The Holy Lord refused without even thinking. But Master Holy Lord, everyone knows that you are the most honest. Since you said you would help me learn energy magic, you won't regret it, right? And if I can't learn energy magic, I won't be in the mood to help you find the talisman. Quote. Link said with a dead pig fearless look. You stinky brat. Seeing Link's look, the Holy Lord was furious, the pig talisman flickered, and the red eyes glowed, as if he was going to attack Link. But in the end, he still didn't aim the laser eye at Link, but just fired it at the ground next to him to vent his anger. After so many battles with the righteous camp, the Holy Lord also found that only Link could bring him the talisman. So, he had to agree to Link's request. Okay, I promise you. The Black Shadow Ninja will send the dragon tooth to your room later. Quote. The Lord said coldly, using the 12 spells to resurrect is the best of all his resurrection methods, and the strength after resurrection is also the strongest, so it must be guaranteed first. As for the method of using dragon teeth to resurrect, he still has a few dragon teeth left anyway. Even if there is one less dragon tooth, his strength will be lower after resurrection, which is not a big problem. But even so, the Lord's heart is still full of anger. Link, this hatred can no longer be settled by being an ordinary slave. When I am resurrected, I must arrange the hardest and most tiring work for this kid. I have to work at least 16 hours a day before I can rest, so that I can relieve the hatred in my heart. The Lord gnashed his teeth in his heart. But at this moment, he relied on Link to find the spell, and finally had to swallow his anger and give his precious dragon teeth to the other party. He will only wait until he is resurrected before making Link pay the price he deserves. In a luxurious room in the Black Hand building, Link sat cross-legged on the ground, playing with the dragon tooth that had been cleaned in his hand, his face filled with the joy of a good harvest. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. I really got it. The stingy Saint Lord actually gave me his dragon tooth. Link said with joy. Originally, he went to the Saint Lord under the pretext of learning energy magic. His expectation was just to get a few more dragon scales, but he didn't expect to get a dragon tooth. With this dragon tooth containing a trace of the Saint Lord's origin, it would be easy for him to learn the Saint Lord's original energy magic next. It's just that with the Saint Lord's personality, I asked for his dragon tooth for resurrection in this way. I'm afraid it's already thinking about how to deal with me after resurrection. Link thought silently. The price required to ask for the dragon tooth was considered by Link long before he went to the Saint Lord, so he didn't regret it. In Link's opinion, the energy magic corresponding to the dragon spell is one of the top 3 most important magics among the 12 spells. If he cannot cultivate this magic, it would be impossible for him to support the magic power consumption corresponding to the 12 spells in the future. Therefore, even if he has to take the risk of being targeted by the Holy Lord after his resurrection, Link still chooses to ask for the dragon tooth in this way. However, since we already know that the Holy Lord wants to deal with me, it's time for me to make some preparations next. Link muttered to himself. As the only 8 demons in the world today, the Holy Lord is undoubtedly the leader of the current Black Gas camp. Before this, the positive energy has suppressed the black energy for a long time, and now the black energy wants to suppress the positive energy, so it naturally chooses to invest in the Holy Lord. At this moment, Link can see that the black energy floating in the air is pouring into the body of the Holy Lord. This also shows that the resurrection of the Holy Lord this time is a foregone conclusion. If he wants to survive this crisis safely, he must find a way to make multiple preparations. He must cross the river and destroy the bridge before the Holy Lord is ready to cross the river and destroy the bridge. San Francisco, Daddy's antique shop. An old man is searching back and forth on the bookshelf. Oh, I can't find a way to seal the Holy Lord. One more thing, Chen Long, can you always hang around in front of Daddy? You are hindering Daddy from looking up ancient books. Daddy, who has been unable to find a way to seal the Holy Lord, hit Chen Long's forehead with a sword finger, making a crisp sound. Ah, it hurts, Chen Long cried out in pain. Then he covered his forehead, which was aching slightly, and continued. But Daddy, didn't I get the sheep talisman before the Black Hand Gang? Without enough talismans, the Holy Lord can't be resurrected, right? Unlike Daddy's sad face, Chen Long only felt that his actions were going smoothly recently. When he was looking for the sheep talisman, the people of the Black Hand Gang neither appeared to compete with him for the talisman, nor did they come to attack him after he got the talisman. At least 2 talismans, the chicken talisman and the sheep talisman, have been collected in District 13. In Chen Long's opinion, as long as he collects the talismans and places them in the safest District 13. The people of the Black Hand Gang cannot collect the talismans no matter what, and the Holy Lord will naturally not be able to revive. He doesn't understand what his father is worried about at all. Oh, how many times do you want your father to say it? The talisman is not important, what is important is to find a way to seal the Holy Lord. The father said angrily like an old goat with hair standing on end. As an elite mage in the righteous camp, the father can feel the changes in the strength of the righteous and black air in this world. In recent times, the black air has shown a tendency to overshadow the righteous. Under this situation, the resurrection of the Holy Lord has almost become inevitable. Chen Long may be able to delay the timing of the Holy Lord's resurrection by finding the talisman, but it cannot really solve the problem. This is why he is so eager to find a way to seal the Holy Lord. Since you want to find a way to seal the Lord, why don't you just ask the person who sealed the Lord? At this moment, an old and evil voice came from the door of the antique shop. The old man and Chen Long stopped arguing instantly, and looked at the door of the antique shop in unison. An old man with the vicissitudes of life and bandages on his right eye and right arm stood in front of the antique shop. Old man, do you need any help? Chen Long saw that the old man looked disabled but determined, and just wanted to help him, but was stopped by the old man. Who are you? The old man asked vigilantly. Unlike Chen Long, who was immortal, as a mage, he could feel a black air from the other party. And from the face, the old man could tell at a glance that the man was not a good person. Ha ha ha, just call me Danzo. The old man who called himself Danzo slowly said, if I'm not mistaken, you were just discussing how to seal the Holy Lord, right? Do you have a way to seal the Holy Lord? Hearing this, the old man's eyes flashed with a gleam of light. As far as he knew, the Black Chi camp was not a solid block. Perhaps the person in front of him was a Black Chi wizard who did not want the Holy Lord to be resurrected, and could provide him with a way to seal the Holy Lord. That's not the case. This ancient spell is not something that a half-baked person like me can master. Danzo shook his head, but a smile appeared on his lips. However, I know who has mastered this magic. Dad. Who? Danzo. Saint Lope who sealed the Holy Lord back then. Is it possible that Mr. Lopez, who sealed the Holy Lord, is still alive today? After hearing Danzo's words, Chen Long's eyes suddenly lit up. Old sir, do you know where he is now? Ha ha ha. Of course Lope is gone, but his statue still exists in the world. As for how to make the statue move, let me give you a hint, mouse. Danzo said with a smile. When he heard Danzo's words, his father's eyes flashed with light, and he instantly understood what he meant. Rat, you mean that the power of the rat talisman can make Lope's statue come alive? And then you want Lope to tell me personally how to seal the Holy Lord? Danzo smiled and said, yes, that ancient magic is not only easy to use, but also safe. Anyway, it's definitely better than the magic spell you plan to use that can extract the talisman from the body of the Holy Lord. Quote, he actually knows what kind of magic I have. Dad couldn't help but thump. You know, his antique shop has cast righteous magic. Even if Daolong, the most powerful black energy wizard in the contemporary era, wants to use black energy magic to check the situation of their antique shop, he will be aware of it, and he will be able to cast a magic spell to counter it. But the black energy wizard in front of him was able to detect the magic he controlled while bypassing his own righteous energy magic. That means that this guy named Danzo is definitely not an ordinary black energy wizard. Dad's antique shop. Looking at his father, who was still in shock, Qianlong whispered from the side, "Dad, Mr. Danzo has left." Dad is not stupid yet. Dad is just thinking about things. That guy named Danzo doesn't seem like a good person. Dad hit Qianlong on the head with his sword finger again. His expression was still indescribably solemn. Although the black spirit wizard named Danzo came to tell him how to reseal the Holy Lord. But Dad always felt that the other party had ulterior motives. "Dad, it seems we have no other way, right?" Qianlong covered his forehead in pain and said cautiously, "In that case, let's give it a try first." In his opinion, the talisman was their goal anyway. Now it's just a matter of looking for one more statue of Lopez, which is not too much trouble. "Qianlong, you finally got it right this time." After hearing this, the father raised his eyebrows. "Thinking about it this way, it does seem that I think too much. Even if Danzo is untrustworthy, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with what he said. After all, the other party did not personally provide the sealing method. Instead, let them find the rat talisman to resurrect the Saint Lope who sealed the Holy Lord. In this case, this sealing method should not be fake. They need to pay attention to 2 points now. Point 1. The rat talisman must be found as soon as possible to avoid falling into the hands of the Black Hand. The second point. Find Lope's statue as soon as possible. Qianlong, go find me a talisman quickly. The rat talisman is very important, and you must not let it fall into the hands of the evil gang." Thinking of this, Dad said loudly to Qianlong. And he himself planned to strengthen the righteousness magic in the antique shop again to avoid being spied on by the guy named Danzo again. Not only that, in order to prevent them from attacking Qianlong and Xiaoyu. At that time, he also planned to draw some practical talismans for the two of them to carry with them to protect their safety. "But Dad, you haven't helped configure the magic of the locating rat spell." Listening to his father's roar, Qianlong said a little aggrievedly. "He is just a mortal. It is impossible for just one person to casually find clues to the spell, right? Uncle Long, why don't you ask me?" As soon as Qianlong finished speaking, a petite and cute figure suddenly appeared behind him. Qianlong obviously didn't expect it, and he was immediately shocked. "Xiaoyu, why are you here? Have you finished your homework?" Seeing the elusive Xiaoyu, Qianlong patted his chest and quickly took a breath. "Please, Uncle Long, do you think that a beautiful elementary school student can give me a hard time with my homework?" Xiaoyu pouted. She didn't like the feeling that Qianlong always treated her like a child. If she doesn't do her homework, it's because she doesn't want to. The amount of homework in Meimei country was not even 1/5 of that in her school in Shangjiang. She finished it in just a few seconds. After you finish your homework, you can also preview the subsequent homework. Wait, what is this? Before Qianlong could finish speaking, the next second he was pulled to the computer by Xiaoyu. The screen of the monitor lists the basic information of all the auction items in the afternoon auction. Among the pile of auction items, a porcelain lamp holder was printed with the rat charm they had been thinking about. "Uncle Long, do you think this is a mouse?" Xiaoyu said with a bright smile. This was the location of the spell she accidentally discovered when she just wanted to check out the Nomi men's nemesis, the turbid monster. "It's true, Xiaoyu, you are of great help now." Qianlong looked shocked when he saw the talisman inlaid on the porcelain lamp holder after partially enlarging it. He just wanted to ask his father to use the location magic of the rat talisman to find the rat talisman. Unexpectedly, Xiaoyu just casually browsed the shopping website and found traces of the rat charm. Could it be that this is fate? "Xiaoyu, you stay here with Dad, I'll go to the auction site to have a look, and I'll be back soon." After saying that, Qianlong walked out quickly, stopped a taxi and rushed to the auction site. Blackhand Building, Wallen Office. Link, who had returned to his own appearance, looked relaxed. He had just revealed the news about the rat talisman and Lope statue to his father as Danzo. Although in the original work, Dad easily defeated the Holy Lord by relying on a magic that could be attached to his hand and directly take out the spell from the Holy Lord's body. But now the plot has shifted somewhat, and Link is not sure whether the resurrected Holy Lord this time is as stupid as the original. In the original work, the Holy Lord could obviously get rid of Qianlong and his gang first, but he just wanted to return to his palace to release the evil dragon, giving Qianlong and others time to prepare for no reason. Not only that, it even knew that Qianlong had the ability to take away the talisman from its body, but it did not use the chicken talisman to fly into the air. Instead, it wanted to engage in close combat with Qianlong, and in the end, he took away the most important mouse. It can only be said that the Holy Lord in the original book lost the game that was a sure win to Lang. And whether the Holy Lord will still be like this in this world, Link doesn't dare to guarantee it. What if the Holy Lord's brain recovers? Could it be that he was just waiting to die? Therefore, for the sake of his own safety, he chose to inform his father about the news about Lope and the rat talisman, giving him an extra layer of insurance for his future. As long as Daddy has mastered the magic that can directly transform the Holy Lord into a statue, then even if the resurrected Holy Lord is smarter and more cautious than the original, he can't escape Daddy's Five Fingers Mountain. After all, in this world, the principle of mutual generation and mutual restraint of all things is fully demonstrated. Even the 8 demons as strong as the Holy Lord will be defeated without any resistance once they find a way to restrain them. He doesn't need to face the Holy Lord who was tricked by him. And according to the plot, when the Holy Lord's body is shattered by Xiao Yu, I should be able to get a part of the black air. Link said to himself. Some time ago, he asked Valone to help find dark creatures. It was to test whether killing dark creatures could get the black air from the other party. The final answer is yes. It's just that the distribution ratio is distributed by the black air, not that killing the other party can occupy all. But in any case, this should be a considerable benefit for Link. You have to know that the Holy Lord is the leader of the Black Chi camp, and the share of Black Chi he occupies is so huge that he can't even imagine it. Theoretically, he only needs to get a small part of the Black Chi that the Holy Lord originally occupied, and he can push his magic attainments to the level of a great wizard, and it will be no problem to be on par with Daolong. Then execute according to the original plan. I have to remind Wallen and others first. When the Holy Lord asks them to help fight for the rat talisman, they have to let Qianlong get the rat talisman. Wallen, you have to send someone to fight for the rat spell, but you can't get it. Just do it for the Holy Lord, and then give the rat spell to Qianlong. As for the remaining spells, please take care of them. These spells are what I need. Inside the Black Hand building, Link instructed Valone, who was wearing a green haute couture suit. Mr. Link, no problem. Wallen said respectfully. To be honest, I have long disliked that Saint Lord. My family's fortune for several generations has been lost in the stone statue. If it weren't for your help, I'm afraid I would go bankrupt in the future, and I can only work as a school bus driver to survive. If you need anything, just tell me. Now we have 12 spells. We have obtained cows, pigs, rabbits, snakes, and dragons. Qianlong has obtained chickens and sheep. Now they should be looking for rats. The remaining horses, dogs, monkeys, and tigers are in your trouble. If you perform well enough, the green beard gloves will belong to you in the future. Link said slowly. Hearing this, Valone's eyes lit up. He has seen the ability of the green beard gloves clearly during this period. Although Link gave it to him before, he asked the green beard gloves to help the Black Hand gang accumulate wealth. But that thing is not his after all, and he might take it back one day. Now that Link said that as long as he performs well, he can directly give him this magic item. Now Valone is full of energy. He plans to go out himself and lead the team to find the talisman. Don't worry, Mr. Link, I'll take care of all this. Come on, Link comforted him. As an elite black wizard, the green beard glove has been in his hands for such a long time, and he has already figured out the magic contained in it. As long as Link wants to do it, he can refine a pair of red beard gloves and blue beard gloves at any time. But compared to the magic gloves, Link judged based on the future development of his previous life that if he wants to make money, he has to be the technology company in which he holds the majority of the shares. When the technology company is on the right track, the money earned by the green beard gloves will be a drop in the ocean. After arranging the task for Valone, Link left the Black Hand building without stopping and came to the magic room he built. Then he took out the dragon tooth of the Holy Lord, the crucible, the insect specimens and various fluorescent plants, and prepared to prepare the potion. The energy magic corresponding to the dragon spell is the original magic of the Holy Lord. This original magic must absorb a trace of the other party's original energy to learn and master it. If ordinary people absorb the original energy of the devil without any preparation, the change in appearance is considered light. More importantly, their consciousness will be affected by the original energy of the devil, the violent and destructive side of their personality will be magnified, and even their brains will become unusable. Although Link wants to become stronger, he doesn't want to pay such a price. Therefore, this dragon tooth material must be properly handled. Dragon tooth, scarab specimen, fluorescent mushrooms in the cemetery. As Link threw the mysterious materials into the crucible one by one, he muttered something in his mouth, and the water in the crucible continued to boil and emit a deep purple light. In this way, 3 hours passed slowly, and the tube of reagent in front of Link that emitted an evil purple light couldn't help swallowing his saliva. He dared to guarantee that his potion configuration was fine, but wasn't the appearance of this thing a bit too bad? Don't smell it, just swallow it. Link gritted his teeth, closed his eyes, and drank the potion in his hand in one gulp. Ah, such a bitter, strange taste. It must be said that the taste of this potion is indeed hard to describe, but the effect is indeed excellent. Not long after taking the potion, Link felt that his body seemed to have changed. Even if Link didn't need to practice, the surrounding energy automatically poured in and gathered into a ball in his body. His mana was automatically growing all the time. Is this the energy magic corresponding to the dragon spell? Feeling the changes in his body, Link couldn't help but exclaimed. According to this growth rate, if his mana growth rate was replaced with chakra, the growth in that year is almost equivalent to half a tailed beast. And Link can feel that there is no upper limit to this growth. Theoretically, as long as he lives long enough, he should be able to have endless energy like the 8 demons such as the Holy Lord in the future. Perfect. Next, just collect all the other spells and exchange them for the corresponding spell magic. Then it won't be too much to call yourself a little saint. I just don't know how Valone is doing. Auction. Sold for 200 yuan. The next item is a porcelain lamp with a mouse pattern. It's unusual. The host with a goatee introduced it in a rhythmic way. Valone and Chen Long were sitting in the audience, and they looked at each other. Anyone bid? Chen Long shouted. I'll bid 100. Haha, Chen Long, you want to compete with me for this little money? After hearing this, Valone sneered. 1,000. Valone, you're really rich. I'll bid 2,000. Chen Long shouted with gritted teeth. That's it, I'll pay you 10,000 meters gold. Chen Long, if you can, just keep raising the price. Valen said proudly. Since hanging out with Link, his waist and legs no longer hurt, and he can even bid with confidence. A mere archaeologist wants to be richer than him. The Black Hand Gang, they are too rich. Chen Long looked at Hualong with a sigh on his face and did not choose to continue bidding. It's not that he has no money, it's mainly because Valone is too rich and he can't compete no matter what. Chen Long has already planned to wait for the Black Hand Gang to auction off the rat talisman, and then go find the other party to use the borrow it and return it immediately stunt. Although this goes against what his father usually taught him, he can't just watch the rat talisman fall into the hands of the Black Hand Gang, right? 10,000 meters gold deal. As the auctioneer's voice fell, the porcelain lamp was delivered to Valone's hands. Goodbye, Chen Long. Hualong glanced at Chen Long with a hint of provocation. It was really satisfying to be able to defeat his old rival. But he didn't forget Link's instructions. Although it would be a bit messy, the rat charm still needed to be delivered to Chen Long in a reasonable way. Ever since, Hualong took a deep look at Chen Long after getting the rat talisman, and then left the scene directly. At this moment, when Chen Long saw Hualong leaving, he immediately followed him. Immediately, a fierce conflict broke out between the two sides. In the end, Chen Long borrowed the porcelain lamp from Hualong while saying, "Sorry, I will send you a check for 10,000 meters of gold." The top floor of the Black Hand building. The Holy Lord was enjoying the service of the professional statue cleaner hired by Valone, happily washing the dust off his body, and turned around to hear Valone reporting bad news to him. Holy Lord, things are not good, the rat talisman was taken away by Chen Long. What? The rat talisman was actually taken away by that Chen Long. Hearing this news, the Holy Lord was like being struck by a bolt from the blue, and his originally gray body seemed to become even grayer. Valone, who was beside him, also heard a hint of crying in his voice. However, in Valone's opinion, it was normal for the Holy Lord to cry. After all, it had been hundreds of years since Lopez turned him into a statue pendant like this. Finally, he had a chance to be resurrected, but he learned that the most important rat had been stolen by Chen Long. Now that there was no hope of resurrection, the Holy Lord could not accept it all of a sudden, and it was normal for his mentality to collapse. Chen Long, I will make you pay. The Lord roared, and flames were brewing in his mouth. At this moment, in the Lord's heart, he had already adjusted Chen Long's hatred to the same level as Link. One of these two people took away his most important rat spell, and the other one betrayed his dragon tooth. If it has the opportunity to revive and rule Asia again in the future, it will make these two guys work for it 16 hours a day to relieve its hatred. Ahem, Lord, I still need to help you find the rest of the spells, I'm leaving first. Looking at the Lord, who was furious and even a little emotionally broken, Valone found a reason to start running as soon as possible. The rat spell was taken away because he did it deliberately according to Link's instructions. He didn't want to reveal any flaws in front of the Lord. If the other party knew that he deliberately gave the rat spell to Chen Long, he would be roasted dry by his dragon fire. What's more, Link had just given him an order. That is to give a sum of money to the curator of the museum where the Lope statue is located, and ask him to wait for the call from Dad, and lend the Lope statue to the two. This is the request of Link's real sponsor, and it must be executed first. Dad's antique shop. Dad, I brought back the rat spell. Chen Long walked in excitedly and handed the rat spell to Dad. The operation process of this trip to the rat spell was indeed a bit ups and downs, but the result was generally good. Although he also sent a check of 10,000 MI gold to Valone, as long as he got this most critical rat spell, it would not be a loss. Well done, Chen Long. I have contacted the museum and asked them to lend us the Lope statue tomorrow. Dad also smiled gently. He didn't expect things to go so smoothly. He just made a phone call to the curator of the museum, and the other party not only expressed his willingness to lend them the Lope statue. He even gave them a door-to-door service, and the Lope statue would be delivered directly to the antique shop tomorrow morning. Daddy didn't feel strange about the hospitality of the museum director. After all, Chen Long is a world-class archaeologist, and he often helps the museum get some precious exhibits. As time goes by, their antique shop has a certain personal relationship with most of the museums in the United States. With their face, it is not difficult to borrow a Lope statue. One more thing, when the Lope statue is delivered tomorrow, you and Xiaoyu are not allowed to go out. After praising Chen Long, Daddy reminded Chen Long and Xiaoyu beside him. Chen Long asked, Okay. But why, Daddy? Great, I don't need to go to school tomorrow. Xiaoyu didn't care why, but was happy that she didn't have to go to school tomorrow. I'm afraid that when the Lope statue is delivered tomorrow, the guy named Danzo may cause trouble. Daddy said very seriously. Ever since he looked at Danzo last time, he felt a sense of danger on that guy. Judging from the amount of black energy on him, the other party is at least an elite-level black energy wizard. Why did such a black chi wizard get the method to seal the Lord and tell him? What is the trap inside? Dad didn't know either. Anyway, it's better to be safe than sorry. Only by letting Chen Long and Xiaoyu by his side can he better protect them from the harm of the black chi wizard. Black Hand Building. Can the Lope statue be delivered to Dad's antique shop tomorrow? Link listened to Valone's report on the rat spell and the Lope statue, and said indifferently. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I have to wait until I find all the remaining spells before I can get the most critical rat. According to Link's plan, the rat must be given to the Lord last. After all, if the rat spell is given to the Lord first, Link doesn't know whether the other party will choose to resurrect in advance. Once the Lord is resurrected in advance, then with the other party's personality. Even if I really help him find the spell, I'm afraid that the resurrected Lord will directly say a famous line, "It is well known that I am not honest," and then cross the river and demolish the bridge. Therefore, in order to avoid this situation, Link had no choice but to drain the Holy Lord before he crossed the river and destroyed the bridge. What about the rest of the spells? After asking about the rat talisman, Link asked next. He was quite reassured by the operational efficiency of the Black Hand Gang and others. Maybe they seemed a little dumb when facing Chen Long. But under normal circumstances, they are all elites of the Black Hand Gang, and their ability to act is trustworthy. Mr. Link, we have discovered the horse talisman from the Snow Mountain area, and Toru and the others are returning quickly. Valen said proudly. Horse talisman, this is a good treasure. We don't even need to give it to the Holy Master so quickly. We can use it ourselves first. After hearing Valone's words, Link's eyes lit up. In Link's opinion, the ability of the horse talisman is also in the first echelon of the 12 talismans. It has the ability to remove external forces acting on itself and restore objects to their original state. In addition to curing diseases, in the original novel, Xiaoyu even cast a horse charm to restore the statue of Lope that she knocked down. From this point of view, with the horse talisman, their technology company can also receive new business. Professional repair of submarines, robots, rockets, tanks, aircraft carriers and more. I'm afraid this money is not easily around 1 million meters. As for whether to use the horse talisman to treat the world's top rich people to make money, Link has no idea. Maybe someday this way will expose the existence of the spell to the other party. It is unknown whether those rich people will take any measures to seize the talisman from Link. In short, Link would not choose such a dangerous method to make money. The next day, early morning. Dad's antique shop. Lopez's statue was delivered to the door of the store early in the morning. At this moment, Dad is also fully armed, with a lizard in his left hand and a blowfish in his right hand, as if he is facing a formidable enemy. Dad, why are you dressed like this? Didn't Mr. Danzo say that Lope was the original saint? Saint Seiyas are good guys after all, right? Quote. Chen Long asked while yawning. Last night, in order to reward Xiaoyu for finding traces of the rat talisman, he went to the supermarket overnight and bought the Tebo monster and super moose that Xiaoyu had longed for. Since the rat charm would be used the next day, Chen Long did not send the rat charm to District 13. As a result, Xiaoyu, a child, secretly took away the rat charm and resurrected the strange Tebo toy. Then he had no choice but to stop the turbid monster and get the rat talisman back. In the end, he tried his best, and with Xiaoyu's help, he recovered the Tebo monster and retrieved the rat talisman. By the time the two returned to the antique store, it was already 4 o'clock in the morning. Originally, Chen Long wanted to catch up on his sleep. But before he had slept for 3 hours, his father woke him up. Oh, are you educating Dad? As the father spoke, his skinny arm passed through the air, and he hit Chen Long on the head with his sword. Ouch! Chen Long's forehead quickly became red and swollen. The familiar pain made Chen Long decisively close his mouth and look at his father with aggrieved eyes. Ming Ming complains about his old bones all day long, but he always looks lively when beating himself up and doing magic research. Chen Long even felt that his father's body and bones should be better than many agents from District 13. Okay, Chen Long, hurry up and put the rat charm into Lope's statue. After educating the brats who dared to talk back to him, Dad slowly spoke. In fact, he didn't sleep last night either. He set up righteous magic traps around the antique shop to prevent the arrival of the black chi wizard named Danzo. But based on the fact that the black magic wizard could accurately know the magic he had mastered before, Dad didn't know whether the righteous magic he had deployed could stop the opponent. The best thing to do now is to resurrect Lope as soon as possible and ask about the method of sealing the Holy Lord. Clear. Chen Long took a deep breath and stuffed the rat charm into the statue of Lope according to his father's instructions. The next moment, there was a flash of light. Lope's clay statues gradually take on color and life. Where am I? Lope looked around confusedly. The surrounding environment was completely different from the scene in his memory. This is the real world, how does it feel? Xiaoyu said with a smile. For some reason, she always felt a familiar feeling on Lope's body. It's like they're all the same kind of people. Mr. Lopez, this is 900 years after your death. You are actually just a statue. We resurrected you through the rat charm. Chen Long said while tapping Luo Pei's chest. I saw a mouse on his chest, which was emitting a little light. The rat talisman, the power to turn silence into movement. Why does it appear here? Just like a beautiful lion scattering its seeds in all directions, so I hide my charms in every corner of the world. How did you find the spell? Is it possible that you guys are related to the Holy Lord? Quote. Lope asked with a serious face. He did not directly choose to believe Jackie Chan and others. Back then, he stripped off the Holy Lord's core magic and turned it into talismans, and scattered the talismans throughout the world. In order to prevent the talisman from being discovered, now the talisman appears again. Then he had to consider collecting the rest of the talismans and personally protecting the talismans from being taken back by the Holy Lord. Oh, Lope, we are not from the Holy Lord. Dad shouted anxiously. As a former Saint Seiya, you should be able to feel the current situation. The current situation. Lope frowned, and the next second his eyes turned white, and then he looked at the sky. After observing for a while, he showed an ugly expression. I didn't expect the black energy to be so strong. It seems that the Holy Lord will definitely be resurrected before the new year. Lope said extremely seriously. His magical attainments are no worse than his father's, and it is natural for him to observe the situation of righteousness and blackness in the world. With the current intensity of the black energy, the resurrection of the Holy Lord is almost inevitable, and even he cannot stop it. Mr. Lopez, the resurrection of the Holy Lord is inevitable. This is why we resurrect you. We need your help. Someone told us that you possess a magic that can turn the Holy Lord directly into a statue. I hope you can pass it on to me. Quote. Dad said straight to the point. You mean the extraction spell? Sorry, I can't give it to you. What if you are a member of the Holy Lord and later develop a way to counter this kind of magic? Quote. Although Lope sensed the righteousness of the father in strange clothes in front of him, he still did not choose to tell his father the extraction spell. After all, Lope had seen a mage who possessed both righteousness and blackness at the same time. Now he still can't completely trust his father and his friends. You don't need to worry about the Lord's affairs. I will protect the talisman from falling into the hands of the evil. No, just as the silkworm can feel the beetle approaching, I can feel the darkness nearby. Lope frowned and looked outside the antique shop. I saw a group of black shadow ninjas appearing outside the antique shop. In addition, a familiar figure appeared in front of them. Time goes back to more than 10 minutes ago. Black Hand Building. No, that Lope is resurrected. At the same time when Chen Long and others used the rat talisman to resurrect Lope, the Lord shouted excitedly. 900 years. It has been 900 years since it turned into this stone statue. After sensing the aura of Lope, the culprit who caused it to become this ghost, it instantly recalled the fear of being dominated by him. If it weren't for the other party, it wouldn't have fallen into such a situation. No, this is not Lope's complete energy, this energy is very weak. It is estimated that Chen Long and his group used the power of the rat spell to revive the statue left by Lope. Chen Long, is this your plan? Not only did he steal my rat spell, he even used it to revive Lope. I must not let Lope have too much contact with them, otherwise I will die. The red eyes of the Holy Lord flickered, and his eyes were full of fear. But it is undoubtedly a waste to want it to deal with Lope in its current state of stone statue. It seems that the only thing it can count on now is the stinky kid who pits itself every day. Link, come and save your master. What's going on? You're making a lot of noise. Hearing the extremely anxious call of the Holy Lord, Link drank soda and ate potato chips before slowly walking in. Link, you are finally here. Seeing Link's careless look, the Holy Master's first feeling was not anger, but rather a sense of security. Not even its red eyes flicker. Although he is a shameless apprentice, his abilities are absolutely reassuring. As long as Link is willing to take action, it won't be a problem to deal with Lope. Master, Holy Master, what's the matter? Link asked knowingly. He had already guessed that Lope's resurrection should have frightened the Holy Lord. Chen Long used the power of the rat charm to resurrect Lope. I need you to kill Lope. Do it to the point where he will never recover. The Holy Lord said fiercely. In terms of the degree of the sealed shadow, the method of sealing his immortal god back then was far less than 1/10 of what Lope used to turn it into a statue. Who knows the pain and fear of being trapped in a stone statue? Because of this, it doesn't want to feel Lope's aura for a minute, so it must be killed immediately. Yes, but killing Lope doesn't seem to be part of our agreement, so Master, Holy Master, what benefits are you going to give me to do this? After hearing the anxious words of the Holy Lord, Link still asked calmly. It's okay to help, but Link is not willing to do such useless work. Good disciple, what do you want? The Holy Lord gritted his teeth and said. The Holy Master had already expected that Link would ask for benefits from him. This kid is more like a devil than the devil he is. I haven't even been resurrected yet, but this brat has already drained all my old clothes, not even a drop is left. Master, Holy Master, you don't seem to have any good things left, right? Link thought for a moment. In the original work, it seems that everything belonging to the Holy Lord has been taken away by him. He took away the Encyclopedia of Black Magic, the magic corresponding to the spells, the dragon scales, and even the dragon teeth used for resurrection. For a moment, he really didn't know what else was worth taking from the Holy Master. How about Master, Holy Master, tell me yourself if there is anything else you can give me? Link touched his head and said a little embarrassedly. The Holy Lord was furious, but there was nothing he could do. He has something to ask for now. Even if Link urinates on him now, he must endure it. What about the Shadow Core? I can give you a magic that can summon the Shadow Core and avoid its influence on yourself. After thinking for a moment, the Holy Lord gave this condition. It just can't deal with that guy Lope, so it can only rely on Link to find a way. And basically everything on it has been squeezed dry by Link. With the Holy Master's familiarity with Link, ordinary things would not be able to penetrate Link's eyes. The only one who can persuade Link to take action seems to be the Black Shadow Core. Deal, but you have to give it to me first. Otherwise, I'm not sure I can deal with Lopez. Link was stunned for a moment, then quickly agreed to the deal. He never expected that the Holy Master would be willing to give him such a good thing. Okay, the Holy Lord finished speaking. 2 shadow soldiers emerged from the shadow beside it. They held a magic scroll and a shadow mask in their hands respectively, and handed them to Link. Link took the scroll and his eyes suddenly lit up after reading it. The magic of the Holy Lord is indeed not fake, and using this magic can indeed leverage a bit of the power of the mask of the Black Shadow Core. The principle of the magic itself is to give the caster a forged identity similar to the captain of the Black Shadow Soldiers. In this way, you can summon low-level shadow soldiers for your own use. It's a pity that the strength of the shadow soldiers summoned with this level of authority is still slightly inferior. Link thought to himself after reading it. In the original work, summoners with different permissions have different strengths of the shadow soldiers summoned. Just like the Shadow Core summoned by Xiao Yu with the Terra Mark and Zhou directly wearing the Ghost General mask, it is obviously more powerful than the Shadow Core summoned by the Holy Lord. The reason is that the two of them have higher authority, one is the Shadow Queen, and the other is the Ghost General. The authority that the Holy Master can obtain by using magic is only the level of a team leader in the Black Shadow Core, so the intensity is naturally not that high. However, from Link's point of view, it's not a big deal. Anyway, the ninja group led by this mask has its own characteristics that are more comprehensive, and combat power is more often a secondary option. They are fast, tireless, and able to travel through the shadows. They can be regarded as very high-quality tools for people to choose. Once, he has this part of the Black Shadow Core authority. For some things that are difficult for the Black Hand Gang to handle, Link can leave it to the Black Shadow Core to solve. This is one of the masks of the 9 generals of the Black Shadow Core. As long as you cast the calling magic on this mask, you can obtain some of the permissions of the Black Shadow Core. The Holy Lord said with a somewhat reluctant tone. After imparting the magic of summoning the Shadow Core to Link, it really had nothing good in it. If he encounters any trouble again, the Holy Master will have nothing left to offer Link for help. It's okay. As long as we kill Lopez completely, all the sacrifices will be worth it. When I am resurrected in the future, I will no longer need this stinky brat. I can cross the river and destroy the bridge, and take back everything I lost. The Lord thought to himself, and at the same time raised Link's hatred level by 1 level. Of course, Link didn't know what the Lord was thinking. He only knew that he had made a profit this time. Okay, since Master Saint hates Lopez so much, then I will definitely help you get rid of him as soon as possible. Link smiled lightly. The white mist flashed, and he turned into the appearance of Valone. He planned to go to the headquarters of the Black Hand Gang and get some useful things to arm the ninja group. About 10 minutes later, Link ate hot pot and sang songs with Valone's face on his head, and came to the door of Dad's antique shop in a luxury car. Although there was righteous magic inside Dad's antique shop, these shadow soldiers would turn into ashes once they approached, but Link didn't intend to let the shadow soldiers get close. He clapped his hands, and a large number of shadow soldiers emerged from the shadows. At this moment, the shadow soldiers were no longer holding cold weapons such as shurikens and long swords, but various hot weapons. There were pistols, rifles, and even RPGs. Isn't this much more useful than some crappy shuriken? Ahem. Link cleared his throat, picked up the loudspeaker in the hands of the shadow soldier next to him, and shouted in the direction of his father's antique shop, "You have been surrounded, put down your weapons and surrender." "Oh, Chen-Long, the Black Hand Gang has surrounded the antique shop," the old man said in a panic when he saw the black shadow soldiers holding all kinds of modern guns in their hands. He did set up righteous magic in the antique shop, and no dark creatures or the magic creations used by dark creatures could get close to the antique shop. Once a dark creature dared to force its way close, the strong ones might be able to barely hold on, but the weak ones would probably be directly destroyed. The shuriken and other weapons used by the black shadow soldiers before were magic creations used by dark creatures. Once they touched the antique shop, these magic creations would be instantly turned into ashes by the righteous magic. However, this righteous magic is not very effective against these modern guns. Why did the black shadow soldiers start using modern guns as weapons? Wallen, he actually came in person. He also brought so many shadow soldiers with guns, and even RPGs and electric swords. Are they still a gang? Why does this look so much like the firepower configuration of a terrorist organization? Why not make more robots? Looking at Link with a Valen face and the densely packed shadow soldiers holding guns behind him, Chen-Long's pupils shrank suddenly. He is a close friend of the leader of District 13, Sheriff Black, and he knows the power of these weapons very well. He is just an ordinary human being. At most, he can dodge bullets from a few guns, but he has no confidence to dodge such a fierce artillery attack. The evil must be eliminated. Unlike Chen-Long and his father who are modern people, Lope is an old antique from 900 years ago and has no concept of the weapons in the hands of the shadow soldiers. He only knows that the evil has come and he must eliminate it. Gravity Scroll. After Lope finished speaking, he called up the gravity scroll to fly with a fearless look, and rushed directly towards Link and others. However, he was only handsome for 3 seconds. The shadow soldier aimed a rocket at him. There was only a boom, and the next moment Lope's figure fell straight to the ground. Who am I? Where am I? What just happened? Lope touched his dizzy head. His thoughts were in a mess. As an old antique, he now tasted the power of modern technology. If it weren't for the runes on his clothes with good defensive capabilities, I'm afraid this rocket would have sent him to the west. Lope coughed heavily a few times, and just when he wanted to stand up, he was pointed at by an RPG and several AK rifles the next moment. The current extreme evil is so powerful. Lope looked at the weapon in the shadow soldier's hand with some disbelief. The power of the attack just now was not inferior to the dragon flame he used to deal with the evil dragon under the Holy Lord. I didn't expect that I failed. If I were the real Lope, I might be able to resist, but I'm just a clay statue. Lope sighed inwardly. Although he has Lope's abilities and memories, his strength is less than 1/10 of Lope's in his prime. The blow just now has broken his Dao heart. Even if he has the same sense of justice as Lope, his strength has been unable to keep up with the times. Oh, it seems that Dad has to take action. Seeing that Lope, who controls the magic of the sealed saint, was blasted down by a rocket. A trace of magic aura emerged from Dad, and he picked up the dried pufferfish and began to chant. Demons and ghosts, leave quickly. Demons and ghosts, leave quickly. Xiao Yu on the side was cheering for Lope, who was given away for free. Don't be afraid of Lope, the battle is not over yet. Where is your old Saint Seiya spirit? The eye of the tiger will never say never. Ha! It seems that the times today still have the power of righteousness. Sensing the familiar righteousness fluctuations on the old man's body and listening to Xiaoyu's encouragement, Lope took a deep breath. Perhaps now he can really let go and hand over the responsibility of protecting the world to the righteous people of this generation. Thinking of this, he began to fiddle with something in his sleeves. Link on the side noticed Lope's little action, but he did not speak out. Instead, he smiled evilly at the old man. Hey, wait a minute, old man, are you sure that the defensive spell you cast can withstand such fierce artillery fire? I don't think you want Qianlong and Xiaoyu to be hurt, right? Hearing Link's words, the speed of the old man's chanting of the spell suddenly slowed down. At the same time, the flow of righteousness flowing into his body also slowed down. Okay, Qianlong, I came here this time just to kill the guy that the Holy Lord hates the most. I'll leave when I'm done. Link smiled slightly and walked to Lope's side. It is obvious that the guy that the Holy Lord hates the most is Lope. Does the Lord want me to die? Lope looked at Link seriously. Yes, Link nodded. There is nothing to hide. I understand. The Lord wants my life, right? Then I will give it to him. Lope suddenly showed a cunning smile. Before Link could react, what did Lope want to do? He took out the energy scroll and pointed it at himself. Boom! The terrifying energy burst out from the energy scroll and blasted directly to the position of the rat spell on his chest. Crack! The next moment, the rat talisman exploded directly, and a special air flew into the air from it. And Lope's clay body also exploded directly under the terrifying power of the energy scroll. As expected of the Saint Seiya, Lope is really not simple. Link was stunned when he saw this scene. He was actually thinking about how he should solve the problem of the rat talisman, and didn't want the Holy Lord to get the rat talisman so quickly. After all, if the Holy Lord wanted to resurrect by force after getting the rat talisman, then he himself might also suffer, and it would be difficult to get the subsequent 12 talisman magic. And now Lope destroyed the rat talisman at the cost of himself. Now the power of the rat talisman should be the same as the animal chapter in the original book. It will eventually fall into the most noble rat in the world, which can probably delay the resurrection of the Holy Lord for a while. Forget it, since the mission has been completed, I'll say goodbye. Link glanced at the sky in the distance. At this moment, Sheriff Black should have discovered the movement in Dad's antique shop and was coming to support in an armed helicopter. He is not an immortal demon like the Holy Lord, and may not be able to withstand the artillery fire of District 13. So, he waved goodbye to Dad and others, and then let the Black Shadow Soldier take him into the ground. Dad, Lope is gone. The magic that concealed the Holy Lord is gone. Seeing Lope turned into ashes and drifted away, Qianlong was a little desperate. Xiaoyu also shed tears. Dad frowned, walked slowly to the ground next to Lope, dug a little, and dug out a stone with miniature ancient characters engraved on it. Lope left the magic, but Dad looked at the shadow of Link's departure with some confusion, but he said nothing. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.